Are we good? Shows we're good on Streamlabs. What about on Twitch? I'm gonna move that a little closer to me. Microphone. Sounds like we are indeed good to go. So, let me turn down the music in my ears. Alright then. Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Silverak Dragon, here with more Fate Grand Order, where it is the murder at the Kogetsukan event. Still going on. I have not done too much of it just yet. Only pretty much the opening act. There is still quite a bit that has been unlocked, and quite a little bit that can still be seen. However, before we go into this, there is some news, what I always do, or try to do at the start of the streams. So, animation updates for 7 Servants has been announced. 7 Servants are getting their basic animations updated. You can see them all there. Elias, Berserkerlot, Tomacat, Iskandar, Alexander, Lubu, and, of course, the greatest of these, Melt. All of them are just getting Battle Sprite updates. Occasional NP updates for some of them, I think. Melt, sadly, is not. Then there is the 10 million downloads pickup summoning campaign, which is pretty much the first part of the Summer 1 banner, including the CEs. This is also the last chance you have to get any of these 4-star servants. So if you are in need of Anne Bonny Mary Reed Archer, Kyo Lancer, or Mo Rider, or any of those CEs, then this is your last chance to get it. It begins on the 27th, which is Wednesday. Then there is the campaign itself for 10 million downloads. It includes Hunting Quests Part 4, then the commemorative login bonus, a total of 10 summon tickets, 10 golden, 10 silver, 10 million QP, 10 4-star embers, 10 of both of the 3-star foes. In addition to that, this has been reached already. The social media campaign has succeeded. 60,000 reactions have been granted, so we're getting an additional 30 Saint Quartz, which is awesome. Double chance of great and super success when you power up servants and craft essences. Enhancement QP cost is half. That could be very, very good. Double friend points acquisition, and then the Mana Prism shop has been updated. Pretty much it's just refreshed the Mana Prism shop. Nothing too big, unfortunately, but even still, it is better than nothing. The big one that I'm excited about, other than the summoning campaign, is they're expanding the amount of second archive slots that you can get 10 more times, which means 50 more slots in both servant and craft essence. That will be really good. And then the 10 million download commemorative master missions, which is pretty much the hunting quests you gotta do once, and you get various Saint Quartz rewards and other rewards. Complete 1 hunting quest mission, complete all the missions. Total, you will get a grand total of 10 million QP and 6 more Saint Quartz. So, pretty good. For a permanent half AP cost for all Part 1 story quests, that's new. They're also, for a limited time, going to be quarter cost. So, that's pretty awesome. And then last bits of news. Oh, not what I wanted to click. Is deduce the true culprit. So you have to when you complete this, actually before you complete this, you can go on to the website. I think they linked it here. Yep. And you can cast your vote who you think the true culprit of the murder at the Kogetsukan event is. You pretty much have to complete it up to chapter 8 to be able to deduce who the true culprit is. If a majority of masters do deduce this properly, then the final reward, which is already 4 golden, 4 silver, and 10 million QP, will also include an additional 10 Saint Quartz. That will be very nice, because there is going to be quite the amount of banners coming up soon that will be needing quite a bit of quartz. But that is pretty much all of the news. Yep. That is pretty much all the news. I'm going to just do a real quick check to see who is on the summoning banner today. Fiona, Sherlock, and Marie. Sadly, none of them I'm going to be going for. We'll do the quick free 10 summoning just to get that out of the way. And then we will proceed with the murder mystery at the Kogetsukan. So, without further ado, let me get a quick drink, and we can do a little bit of a recap. So, as a general recap, we found ourselves at the start of this event waking up in a strange hotel room, seeing servants' faces, a year ago by the way. This event does take place during the Epic of Remnants portion of everything. But we found ourselves waking up having implied to have been hit in the head by a ball and had some form of amnesia. A lot of familiar faces and servants, though they are different names. There is two families, the Gold and the Violet family. We are the guest of one of the daughters of the Violet family, Juliet, who is contracted to be married to the son of the Gold family, Morris, played by Mordred. Through the course of the opening parts of the event, we found out that while they look like servants, they are not actually servants, as Morris is actually a man, despite looking like Mordred. We solved, or not really solved, we found a little mini-mystery in where the wife, or the mother of the Gold family lost a necklace. It was revealed that the daughter of the Gold family had hid said necklace. We then also learned that there was a threatening letter sent to the Gold family saying that if the engagement between Juliet and Morris was not called off, that the Gold family would suffer for it. The Gold family proceeded to hire a detective, whose name I cannot remember, who managed to track them down to this place without any sort of indication. After that, we woke up and then elaborated everything to Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes, and, of course, best waifu, best kohai, Mashu. We learned that we must be syncing up with another person and viewing these events through their eyes, and the reason we're seeing servants is because our mind wouldn't otherwise process, aka they didn't want to make totally new sprites for people that probably would only be seen once. Still, it's a good explanation for it. We were told to not take their facial appearance or what they look like as value for what their personalities might be like, and that it would be up to us to pretty much solve this, because if we die as this, there's no telling if we will actually die. I made the deduction, at the end of what we currently have available, that it was likely Juliet that sent the letter to the Gold family, but she has no intention of actually fulfilling any sort of murders with it, because she does not want to be involved, / married to Morris, mainly because, apparently, in these two, our character and Juliet, are college friends, and she invited us to a private family gathering. Yeah, that totally doesn't imply any deeper feelings whatsoever. So yeah, my assumption, my deduction, rather, is that Juliet does not want to be married. She would rather be with us, sent the letter to the Morrises to try and get the engagement cut off, has no intentions of following through with this, and, well, it's gonna be quite interesting to see how things proceed. I'm guessing chaos might unfold. Juliet might have to get some blood on her hands. Who knows? We will find out, though, in no more than One Secret Room or Passage, Part 3 of Murder at the Kogetsukan. Alrighty. I like this music. It's got a nice vibe to it. Alrighty. Those sandwiches we had for breakfast were delicious. Yep, not a bad breakfast, I have to admit. Right, Juliet and Harriet, twins, sisters, I kind of forgot the lesser characters in all this, to name them at least, but Harriet is also a suspect because she might not want her sister to be sad. I worked pretty hard on those, so I'm glad you liked them all. You all liked them. Yeah, they weren't bad. Best thing about sandwiches is you don't need any fancy utensils to eat them. This tea is delicious, too. Did you do something special with the tea leaves? That'll be my doing, Miss Ava. Miss Answer to it that was extensively educated on brewing tea. Clients don't need to know your life story, Chris. You're going to make some lucky woman very happy one day, Chris. You're already so clean and proper. That's enough, Eva. Is it my imagination, or did she just take a dig at me? I'm pretty sure she just took a dig at you. But, yeah. And Not gonna get all the voices perfectly down here. I do try to do voices for each character, but the cast is actually fairly large this time, so I'll try my best, though. Morris, you still have a lot of growing up to do if you're letting a lady's remarks get under your skin. Nothing anyone could say fazed me when I was your age. But then I had my hands so full of beautiful, famous women that I hardly knew what to do with them all. You're the one who told me I had to get married just as I was about to begin my own series of conquests. Did I? I'm so sorry if I said anything to offend you, Morris. By the way, Chris, why don't you stop by my room later? Stop that, Eva. I can't believe that guy let his wife and kids run their mouth like that, right, Pops? Stop that, Morris. Can't you see how difficult you are making matters for your father? Yeah, alright. That was yummy. What a healthy appetite you have, Lori. I'm proud of you. Now don't forget to thank them for the meal. Hey, can I have that too? Now that you mention it, there is another plate left over, isn't there? I want some too. Gimme. Okay, let's share it then. Half each? That was supposed to be for Sheringham. Hey, Chris, where is Sheringham anyway? Mr. Sheringham is rinsing his room. I thought his trip must be exhausted for him, so I refrained from knocking so as to not wake him. Well, that won't do. We're supposed to be discussing our plans this morning. In that case, allow me. I'll go and fetch Mr. Sheringham right now. Ask me if he still wants his breakfast or not. Yes, ask him. God, hear those brats screeching. It's giving me a damn headache. This is a hotel, not a kindergarten. Hear that? As if he isn't the biggest baby here. True, but don't you find his boorishness somehow endearing in its own way? I can hear you, you know. Oh! Was that Chris? Alright, I remember I gave Juliet more of a southern twang to it. At least I tried. Let's go! This can't be good news. I'm going too. You're all here. What happened, Chris? I don't think I've ever heard you raise your voice before. Sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. I'm alright now. But instead of telling you what happened, I think it'd be faster if you saw for yourselves. Take a look inside Mr. Sheringham's room. Sheringham's room? Why? What happened? Oh. Well. The detective got killed off in the first act, huh? Now, see, I remember in the after summary analysis between Moriarty, Sherlock, and MASH that the detective that pops in and is a good guy tends to be killed off about halfway through everything. I guess that's not always true. No way. Is he really dead? Looks like he's been dead for some time now. I'll seal that area off and go tell the others. This is interesting. Starting things off already. Death right off the bat, huh? I can't believe Sheringham is dead. I didn't examine his body too closely, but it sure didn't look like he died of natural causes. There might not be any point in asking, but do we know who saw him last? I wasn't technically last to see him, but Mr. Sheringham did ask me to bring him some tea last night. And there's got to be more to that than that, right? Well, don't be coy. This is an emergency. Just spit it out. Mr. Sheringham requested 2 teacups. It looked like there was someone else with him. Damn man. Do you know who it was? I couldn't tell. Mr. Sheringham was waiting for me outside his room, and he slipped back inside after I gave him the tea tray. Hey, Mordred. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Demand... Oh, wait. No! Wait, what happened? No! It crashed! Dang it, Reflector! Hang on. I don't know what happened there. That was odd. There we go. It's back. I have no idea how that just crashed on me, but it's fixed now. Oh, that's the wrong button to press. I'm trying to adjust the screen size here. There we go. Just looking in. That's alright, man. That's alright. It's nice having you stop by for at least a little bit. Hope you're doing well. That's fair, man. That is fair. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. I didn't get so much as a look at whoever's in there. Based on the way he acted, I thought he might be entertaining a woman, but I didn't give it much thought beyond that. My, oh my, I didn't think you were still so innocent, Chris. I just had to say? You just had to say die? Ah. Fair. Fair is fair. The only possible clue I can think of is that he requested a left-handed teacup. You will die because the murderer is going to kill me. That could be a very bad premonition. A very, very bad premonition. But I must live because I managed to see the end of humanity a second time. But you know, seeing it once has got to be traumatizing enough, but seeing humanity be wiped out twice? I can't imagine what that does to your psyche. Not that teacups are normally left or right-handed, but the handles of the cups we use here at the Kogetsukan are a little unusual. Miss Stringham appeared to be right-handed, so I think the left-handed one was for his guest. That's just perfect. Detective guy had more game than I thought. I don't suppose you were the left-handed woman, were you? How could you even ask me that, Morris? That is hardly fit subject for a joke, especially now. Besides, I'm right-handed. How could you not know that? I've been your stepmother for 10 years. Re-Zero would be a bigger problem? Yeah. You're not wrong on that. You're not wrong on that. Re-Zero has to be very much more traumatizing than a lot of things, you know? A lot of things. But I don't know. The FGO Pro Tag, they might be under a little bit more trauma than the Re-Zero Pro Tag. Subaru, I think is... I'm pretty sure that's what he was. Subaru? It's been a while since I've watched Re-Zero, and I haven't seen the director's cut ever since they announced that they were pushing the second season back. Yes, like the car. That's right. Subaru the car, that's right. I can recall things. It's been a while. I gotta watch the director's cut, though. Definitely gotta watch it when it comes closer to the time for, Season 2. This July, I think, is when they pushed it back to. I'm sorry to ask this now, but is anyone here left-handed? I'll take that as a no. Well, I guess it would be hard to get anyone to admit that under these circumstances. Never mind who we might have been meeting with. This isn't going to affect our alliance, is it? No, unfortunate accidents aside, we'll proceed with the engagement as scheduled once we regroup. Okay. Interesting. So, left-handed cup, nobody wants to admit to being left-handed. It's Adamska, the Violet father, seems to not be too concerned with this death, nor does the Marble Company, I think it was. That's who owns this place. They also don't seem to be too concerned with the death that has just occurred. Interesting. An unfortunate accident. Right. Accident. Always this marbles. I don't know. Yeah, you can't really trust marbles, can you? You can slip on them and fall and crack your skull open. Marbles are a very untrustworthy thing. You're kidding, right? We need to stop this deal and leave right now. Have someone come pick us up at once. Unfortunately, we don't have the means of contacting anyone on the mainland. No matter what happens, not going ahead with this engagement is not an option. Do you mean we're trapped here? What if something happens to my Lori? No one will be coming to get us until 2 days from now. Until then, we'll just have to make the best of things. I didn't know your reference made it even more fun. Always this marbles? Yeah, I don't get that reference. I got the Let's Open Subaru thing because, you know, I'm pretty sure he's been cut open at least once with death, you know? Subaru has had a lot of gruesome deaths. Oh, and Unlimited Blade Works Abridged, they use marbles instead of mages. You know, I doubt it, but what are the odds that they might have drawn a little bit of inspiration from that with this? Perhaps the marbles are a mage clan of Magi, and marbles is sort of a subtle nod to the Unlimited Blade Works Abridged. That would be actually kind of fun if that was the case, but I'm kind of drawing some random deductions here. It's quite alright with me. We can't have a little thing like this get in the way of our arrangement. Little thing like this. Death is a little thing. Okay, I'm gonna draw the conclusion now. Neither Aaron nor Adamska have anything to do with this murder, because they don't give a flying flish that the detective was brutally murdered in his room. So you just said you can't trust mages, you always fall if you stand and crack your skull. True. I mean, you know, it could bear the true for that too. You never know. Have you tried to stand on a mage? I couldn't agree more. What a relief. Man, you sure are desperate, huh? This alliance really means that much to you. Morris, that was going too far. Apologize right now. Yeah, sorry about that, Mr. Adamska. You always stand on Rin's shoulders. But wouldn't you prefer if Rin stood on your shoulders? You know, you got a great view in that case. A very good view. You would not. Are you calling Rin fat? Anyway, we know the killer's here amongst us, right? Well, I'm not gonna let a little murder scare me. Looks like our decision to keep our personnel to a minimum backfired. I never thought we would have a murder on our hands. I'm sorry to spoil your vacation, but please make sure you all stay where we can see you as much as possible. If there's anything you need, we'll be happy to provide it. Alright, everyone, as you were. I hope you'll still be able to relax and enjoy yourselves. Yes, relax and enjoy yourselves when there's a murderer afoot. Total common sense there. You would like if Ilya would enjoy Ilya standing on your shoulder. She doesn't look as heavy as Rin. Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, Fate Route Ilya, right? Not the Prisma variety, Mordred, because, you know, actually, I think no matter what Ilya you specify, you're still going to have troubles. You don't care. Fair. Fair is fair is fair. Relax and enjoy ourselves. How on earth are we supposed to relax now? Cecil, if you don't have anything better to do, would you mind taking over for the detective? We've devoted so many resources to security at this point. We honestly don't have time to handle the investigation. Prisma Ilya would probably not kill you. You like OG Ilya more, so you're definitely looking forward to Sitonai, then. Are you going to be rolling for Sitonai? Does that mean you don't suspect Sol at all? I saw him take that ball to the face on the first day, not to mention the uproar that followed. There's no way anyone that anyone that inexperienced in self-defense would be capable of murder. I mean, you can never tell, Wu. It's always the quiet ones you need to look out for. That, taking the ball to the face could have been a distraction to allow me to pull off the perfect plan by drawing off any suspicion from me. Although I do admit that was a thought that, perhaps the body we're inhabiting got wind of this whole deal and sent the letter because they are in love with Juliet, perhaps. But now that we've taken over, it's just gonna be chaos? Or maybe while we're asleep, the original owner of the body we're inhabiting is pulling off the crimes. That's actually a decent idea. 2.1k Saint Quartz for Sitonai. Nice. So you're going to have that shortly. Or wait, are you going to wait until, I'm pretty sure the rate-up banner around Halloween for Sitonai? Or are you going to just roll on the story banner when the second Lost Belt drops? Because I'm pretty sure Sitonai gets added to the story banner after the second Lost Belt is completed. And Halloween? Okay. Fair is fair is fair. Fair is fair is fair. That's probably what I'm going to be waiting to roll for Sitonai as well, to be honest. I mean, not to say that she can't possibly spook me, because I'm probably going to be rolling for Brynn and Sigurd. And I only know about Sigurd because I was told about Sigurd, and Sigurd looks freaking cool. Even if I know nothing about his story, he looks awesome, so... Yeah, Story Banner does not have rate-ups in the slightest, so it is a shot in the dark for her if you go Story. Well, not that you need to be good at martial arts to kill someone, of course. Exactly. Whatever your reasons are, I absolutely agree that Soul could never kill anyone. I'll do it. I'll be the detective. Well now, it seems you have more initiative than I thought, considering how quiet you seem. Sito is story locked, so she won't spook you. Yep. Indeed, indeed. Story banner lock, no spook from Sitanai. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I agree, Soul's the right choice. Since they are not affiliated with either family, we can expect their judgment to be fair and impartial. I would argue that I'm slightly affiliated with the Violet family, since I'm the guest of Juliet, but I'll shut my mouth in this case. Now then, shall we take a look at the crime scene, as much as I'd rather not, of course. Doctor? Well, ask me to help out as well. I'm the only one here who can perform an autopsy, after all. Lamentably, I have little in terms of space or equipment, so I must confine myself to visual examination. That's a good point. Okay, let's go then. And see, Juliet is coming along with us to this, even though she is possibly a suspect in all this. Yeah, certainly no bias at all. And yet we're allowing Juliet to come with us on this. I don't know. Even with this, I'm still somewhat sticking to Juliet being the suspect. He is pretty pale, but aside from that, he doesn't really look dead. If that's what you think, try checking his wrist. Okay, just in case. No, you're right. He doesn't have a pulse. Did you want to check his wrist too, Soul? Yeah, aren't you scared of this, actually? Of course I'm scared, but I also kind of feel like I'm partly to blame for his death. You look even paler than he does, Juliet. Why don't you go back to your room and get some rest? Let Soul and me handle this. No, I'll stay. It wouldn't be any less scary sitting in my room alone. Alright, if you insist. Anyway, I believe we have sufficiently verified that he is in fact dead. Okay, so... Actually, now this is a little suspect in and of itself. Hang on, I want to see if he says anything else before I continue. Given how much of his body is cool, I put his time of death around midnight. Of course, the cause of death will be more important than the time. Yes, the cause of death. What do you think, Doctor? Poison would be the most likely answer. Still, I can't tell what sort of poison or how it entered his bloodstream. I'm afraid that's all I can say at this point. That's all? Isn't there anything else? I might be a doctor, but I admit this isn't exactly my area of expertise. I can't even be sure what this poison is mixed into the food or drink, or if it was injected with it somehow. Now, it would be one thing if I had my toxic substance detected reagent here with me, but... I'm sorry to interrupt. It looks like today is going to be rather warm, so would it be alright if we moved Mr. Shanningham's body soon? Requesting emergency comment from Quetz. No emergency comments. Although... Again, drawing back to Grand Order Babylonia in that anime, that was so good, Quetz's NP in that. So good, Quetz's NPs were. Hey, Velvet, welcome. The Sneck Saga ended, so you can watch now. You can watch me flounder with my deductions. Welcome, Velvet, welcome. How you do? Alright, I do apologize. You must have a lot to do without waiting around for us. Never mind that, Doctor. What about the poison? If the killer poisoned his food drink, what's to stop them from doing the same to ours? I doubt there'll be any poison in the food as long as Wu's cooking. But if you're worried, I'll be happy to taste it first to put you at ease. A Sneck was spying on you in the grass. A Sneck in the grass. A Sneck in the grass? Nice, Mordred. Very nice. You had that copied all the way since last stream, didn't you? Nice. But what kind of Sneck was it, Velvet? If you don't mind me asking. Or were you, did you take any pictures of the Sneck? Or was it perhaps a purple Sneck? Step sat straight off with a hose while he was cleaning buckets and it effed off. It's probably Medusa. Yeah, probably. You did take a pic? Nice. I've only really had one snake encounter, and it was way back when I was younger. My grandmother had this sort of cottage in a community by the lake that is relatively close to where we live, so occasionally on weekends we would go up there and enjoy some time, you know, away from everything. And one of these times, well, when we got there, there was a snake just in the sitting room. It was only a common gardener snake, but it was pretty cool. I don't really live in an area where a lot of snakes are found, so yeah, that's unfortunate that I don't get to see snakes too often. Get to see plenty of mosquitoes, though. Hate mosquitoes. What? How can you smile about that? If it really is poison, you could end up dead yourself. The marble company took me in when I was a baby. Of course I would lay down my life for them. But it's your life. You only get one, you know. You can't just throw it away like that. With all due respect, Miss Juliet, the marble company is my family like me. Miss Anne might as well be my mother. There is no difference between me risking my life for them and you marrying someone you don't love for your family. Oh. Interesting. It was on the stones? Ah, it was sunning itself then. And your cats sometimes bring you snacks. Ah, cats. Such nice little fuzzballs. Yes, that is. It's not the same thing at all. My apologies, I should never have said that. Forgive me. It's okay, I'm over it. Alright, now that the autopsy is over, we should take Mr. Sheringham's body out of here. I can use the basement. It's a little desolate, but it's the best option we have. I'll take the body down there now. Hold it. Sir? Sol and I can carry the body ourselves. But I'm well aware the marble company doesn't have, enough hands to go around right now. There's no need for you to concern yourself with this when we are perfectly capable of doing it ourselves. Then I went into the grass and poked his head out to stare at you. Staring contest with snakes. Did you win? All I ask in exchange is you make us a nice pot of tea. That we cannot do ourselves, after all. In that case, I'll be glad to take you up on that offer. What kinds of tea do you have? Afraid we have a limited selection, but I'm certain something will be to your liking. Is it okay if I choose it myself? Of course, alright. Let's be on our way. We'll wait for Dr. Hawthorne and your friend in the reception room. Snakes can't blink? Yeah, I know. That's why it'd be really, really impressive if you somehow managed to win. Now then, let's wrap up the body in a sheet and get it down to the basement. Mind taking the legs? Alright, let's go. There we are. That certainly strains the lower back, doesn't it? Another reminder that I'm not getting any younger. Anyway, this should be a good place for Mr. Sheringham to rest in peace. It should be cool enough down here to minimize decay. Chris certainly wasn't kidding when he said it was desolate. In fact, it's downright chilling in here. I don't just mean in terms of temperature. At any rate, it's finally just the two of us. Okay, so before we proceed with this little portion, I'm going to give a little bit of deductions that I've drawn here. And I will check out that snack here while I'm doing that. So, Sheringham is dead, supposedly. And there was 2 teacups that he asked to make for a left-handed teacup. Now, that doesn't... And we didn't really get much. There was a little bit of blood spatter on the thing we saw, but he was very pale and cold. And there is an old adage, they're not dead until they're warm and dead. So, it's very possible here... Oh, that is an interesting looking snack. That doesn't look like a venomous one. That looks more like a constrictor snake. Just from the coloration, you know? But, there is the old adage that they're not dead until they're warm and dead. That's why if somebody if somebody is dead from hypothermia, they generally warm the body up to see if, So considering that 2 streams of people solving this and it ranged for 1.5 hours till they reach the solution and 6 hours, here's hoping you're on the lower end. Oh, I'm hoping I'm on the lower end too. Right now I'm drawing conclusions. And welcome, Phoenix. Welcome. Hobby things, hobby things. So, poison is an interesting way to die, especially since he's cold and we're trying to keep him cool. Yes, that could strive off decay, but if he was killed at around midnight and morning has come, rigor mortis would have set in at that point. That would make transporting the body a little bit awkward, and I don't know, I just feel like perhaps Sheringham isn't dead. He is supposed to be a really great detective after all. So here, who's to say that he asked for 2 teacups to draw suspicion, to draw the idea that somebody was with him, to cause some confusion, and he didn't take a fake death pill or something similar to slow his bodily functions to a point where he seems to be in death, and that way he can operate with a little bit of less interference. Because after all, you can't suspect a dead man of... If he's dead, then that means the big target in this all is out of the way for whoever the possible killer might be. They might realize there might be somebody else afoot here. So it's possible Sheringham isn't actually dead. He faked his own death, and he's going to use this opportunity to try and find out who actually wrote the letter. That's just a conclusion I've drawn. And I'm not really sure about Juliet. She seemed fairly nonchalant at it. She was remarked to be fairly pale at all of this. But we didn't really even do an autopsy either. So something tells me that Hawthorne may be a little bit in on Sheringham's plan here. I don't know. That's the conclusion. I'm still leaning towards Juliet being the one that sent the letter, maybe Harriet, and Sheringham has possibly faked his death with Hawthorne's help in order to try and draw out who actually wrote the letter. That is current conclusions. At any rate, it's finally just the two of us. Are you the killer? No, nothing like that. I merely wanted to talk to you in private. Well, it's better if Juliet doesn't hear this, you see. I've known Juliet since she was a baby. Her mother and I go way back. It's funny to see you conclude, then you already know the story more. I honestly have no idea. I've been avoiding Reddit, which hurts so much to avoid Reddit. I don't know how many cool fan comics I've missed, but I just am trying my best to run some deductions. Oh gosh. Did you used to date Moriarty and Raiko? Oh gosh, that would be a pairing, wouldn't it? Moriarty and Raiko. I feel like, Raiko would definitely try and convince Fran to call her mom. Most definitely try. And I feel like eventually Fran would be worn down to the point where she would eventually call Moriarty Papa and Raiko Mama. That would be very interesting to see. Did you used to date her or something? Not like that. There was never anything between us. That sounds rather sad now that I've said it. Anyway, she was very popular. A boring man like myself never could have had a chance. Besides, she was the pride and joy of the famous Violet family. I was far too scared to even think about asking her on a date. Still, I was lucky she did see me as a friend. She even kept with me after she married Adamska. In fact, she was the one who chose me to be Violet's family doctor after her daughters were born. I owe a great debt to the Violet family for providing me with a steady income for so many years, which is why I'm so reluctant to bring this up. I'm guessing the Goldie and Violet families came across as typical members of an upper class to you. Yeah, a little bit. They definitely seem like in the upper echelons of society. Fran would likely use her NP on both at max power. Perhaps, but you know... I don't know. Raiko can be a little bit smothering. I'm not sure how Fran would really react to her. Maybe at first, but I don't know. Raiko might wear Fran down. You can never really tell. But they are, in fact, two of the oldest crime families in the country. Okay, that changes things. That definitely changes things. So, I'm pretty much in between two... Yeah, that definitely changes things. Oh boy. I might have a hit on my head after what I did with Morris. So if Morris is the actual killer, then I could end up dead for, okay. Wasn't seeing that twist. Crime families. Alright. See you next time, hopefully, Mordred. But crime families, huh? Yeah, that was a twist I wasn't expecting. Okay, does that change evaluations at all? I mean, it makes it more likely that it's not just a bluff of a letter, and that it's actually an actual threat. The event expects you to reread it once you're up to date and reach voting. Oh, that's why that is one of the main reasons why I waited until today when I could actually vote to finish off the event. Before the stream, I went and replayed the first and second parts of it thus far, and I'm gonna do it all, the rest of it, in this stream, and then cast my vote as much on stream as possible. You know? But yeah, that is why I waited until today to actually do the rest of this event. But crime families, huh? That definitely changes the playing field. That definitely changes the playing field in a lot of ways. All that they have is built upon violence and blood money. However, in the past few years, they've found themselves in a dangerous position. For a long time, they were fighting each other tooth and nail for control of a certain city. No, you'll only notice some things when you finish and go back. Ah, okay, I get ya. Okay, that makes sense. Well, now both are under attack from a new enemy, and that attack has exhausted all their resources. The way things are going, they probably won't last another 10 years. At worst, both would collapse. So the heads of both families arrived at the same conclusion. They would each form an alliance, a merger of sorts. They needed a way to ensure neither would betray the other, and they decided the way to do that was to have their oldest children marry. Political. In the broadest sense of the word. Yes, that's probably the best way to put it. I'm still a bachelor myself, but I care for those girls as if they were my own. Sometimes I can't help but wish Juliet was as free-spirited as her mother. She agreed to a marriage she doesn't want purely to help her family. It really grinds my gears. Does Moriarty actually need gears to level up? Because that'd be a little bit funny. And to make matters worse, well, you've met Morris. How do you think he will be as a husband? Yeah, he's not going to make her happy in the slightest. I concur. Morris is no more than a thug who goes on picking fights with every perceived slight to his fragile ego, and he perceives many. Unfortunately, he's not the only one like that in the Goldie and Violet families. Far from it. And those other thugs aren't happy about this merger. They're too concerned with what happened in the past or what's happening right now to give away any thought to the future. In fact, many of them would rather have an all-out war than team up with an enemy. Both Aaron and Abscar are under a lot of pressure from their men not to go through with this. That's why Aaron decided to bring in the Marvel Company. Any deal the Marvel Company is present for always goes through, after all. Nobody in that city would voice an objection to this engagement with the Marvel Company backing it. Ostensibly, that's a word I've never really seen too much. A 4-day family trip, the true purpose here is to close the deal between these two families in secret. Yeah, why the hell am I here? Of course, she has every right to go ahead with this, if that's what she's decided, but I don't want her to make a choice she'll end up regretting. She still has many years ahead of her, and there's no telling what may happen down life's winding roads. If Juliet ever ends up reaching out to you for help, I hope you'll be there for her. Not that I have any business telling you this, as I did not have the guts to take a chance to get properly turned down by my own youthful crush. Oh, okay. Okay, so that definitely implies that, perhaps my character and Juliet have feelings for one another, but perhaps a little bit too afraid, or one of them has feelings for the other, just too afraid of the consequences that could result from such a thing. And definitely Hawthorne had something for Eva. Definitely. Now then, we better get back. I imagine Juliet is waiting for us with our tea. Will you let me through? Just a sec. Got something I want to talk to you about first. It looks like they're arguing about something. Let's go see what's up. Alright, what is it? Let me just be straight with you. Your sister's more my type, and I want you to trade places with her. Oh. That's not something you and I can decide by ourselves. I just thought it'd suck for you if you'd already fallen for me, so I figured I'd bring it up early. Oh, somebody's cocky. Still, it doesn't look like being blunt's your thing anyway, so I don't see you answering honestly regardless. Of course, if you're set on it, I don't mind doing it with you either. You're easy on the eyes. Okay. Okay, then. You're disgusting. What are you going to do about this soul? Hmm. Yeah, go with the less violent option. That's enough, Mr. Morse. Ah, crap, it's the pretty boy with a grip of steel. Fine, I'll get out of your hair before he breaks my arm or something. I'm gonna go for a walk, alone. Are you alright? I'm alright, just sick to my stomach. Chris, Doctor, would you mind going on ahead? If that's what you want, come along, Chris. Yes, sir. Thanks, I'll be there before my tea gets cold. I'm so sorry I told you this was just a family trip when I asked you to come along, Soul. I thought he might be awful, but he's a little worse than I had expected. Yeah, you're putting on a really strong face. Yeah, definitely. That's your response? You're so silly. Usually you're really quiet, but today you're something else. Thank you, Soul. I feel a little better now. Deer's interested in the conclusion I'll come to. Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of leaning towards either Juliet or Harriet. And although, with being an actual crime family now, I don't know. Being an actual crime family, I'm kind of starting to lean a little bit towards Eva, perhaps. And hear me out on this. I'm thinking it might be Eva. Perhaps she noticed Hawthorne's interest in her when they were young, but perhaps she was also drawn into a similar situation with Adamska, and she doesn't want that with her daughters to happen. So maybe Eva definitely has motivation. Is somewhat similar motivation to Harriet, I will admit. I can definitely say Aaron and Adamska probably are not suspect in this at all. And the younger siblings, I mean, it's kind of implied that they're really, really young, so that doesn't discount them, I suppose. And then there's still the possibility that it's our character behind all this, you know. But you know, I've had a good life growing up in this family. It's thanks to them that I got into our school, and I never would have met you if I hadn't gone there. I'm grateful to them for that. So I cannot run away from our duties now. I'm the eldest, after all. It's the same choice. First one. That's sweet of you, but I can't. If I ran, my sister would have to take my place. I can't do that to her. Hey, what's with that look? I didn't bring you along so you can make faces at me. Huh? No, Soul, you mustn't. Soul, hang in there. And... Huh, that was quick. You weren't even asleep for an hour. Yeah, because that's one that was longer. Interesting, so that's one part done. Well, it seems that time passes differently in your dream world. How fortunate, I was just thinking how helpful more data could be. Now then, what happened over there? You died, bro. That was when Juliet shoved you, and you fell unconscious. How unfortunate for you. Still. It seems someone else was even more unfortunate still. What a tragic turn of events. Hey, fun. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How be things? How be things? Don't you agree, Sharingham? Oh, my apologies. I don't know how I got those names mixed up. Oh, Moriarty is just having a blast with this. Oh, as expected of Moriarty. Just bored? You're doing alright? That's good to hear. That is good to hear. Hey, by the way, about what time do you generally stream? Because I know you've streamed... I've seen your streams occasionally, like, before I go to work, but, like, what times do you generally stream? Out of curiosity. Holmes, the great Sherlock Holmes, rubbed out in the first act. Not even I would have seen this coming. Senpai, I've never seen the professor so euphoric before. Yeah, I imagine he would be. He's rediscovered his inner child. Nice. Borotsu. God! Ouch! Oh, poor Moriarty. I do beg your pardon, but I'm trying to think. Would you kindly keep it down? Still, I must say, I'm disappointed to hear the detective was the first to step off the stage. Detective work is fraught with danger. Any gentleman worth his salt should have known to master a martial art or two for his own self-defense. Poor Sharingham clearly needed more training. Work overnight, so it's most likely to start around 3 to 4 in the morning. Oof. Eastern Standard, Mountain, around what schedule's always effed because of that. Yeah, I can imagine it would be. You're the one to talk, given that your self-defense consists of shielding yourself with your culprit. PST. Okay. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna try and... I've endeavored to try and watch a little bit more Fate streams, just see how other people stream it. And, you know, I know you stream it, so I might drop in on one of your streams some of these times. That aside, something about Sheringham's death nags at me. It would make more sense if it had been anyone else. What do you mean by that? Assuming that whoever made the threat is among the other characters, Sheringham's arrival must have thrown a wrench in their plans. Let's further assume that the culprit made a number of preparations in the Kogetsukan. Assuming they have done so, then murdering Sheringham puts our couple at a bit of a bind, since they have not prepared anything for him in advance. Which means they must have made a mistake somewhere. I certainly understand the desire to rid oneself of an unwelcome visitor, but I can't say I approve of this rushed, artless approach. I see, so the culprit would have just as soon not have committed his murder unless he had no choice. Does it mean Holmes' death was a spur-of-the-moment decision? Sheringham, Miss Carlight, I assure you I'm very much still alive. Indeed, I doubt our culprit is in a position to simply gallivant about, murdering as they please. Hey, Destructive, welcome, welcome, howdy things, howdy things! As soon as someone dies, then survivors become much more wary, serving only to complicate the act of carrying out your intended murder. Assuming this is not a matter of vengeance, your first victim should always be the one you had intended to kill from the start. Okay. You were petting your cat and commenting on another Discord. Ah, cats. Cats are great. Okay, so, victim, you always intended to kill this from the start unless it's a matter of rage. Ah, Kaldea Gurus. I should probably look into them. I should probably watch them a little bit more than I have. I've watched a couple of their stuff, but not as much of it, I will admit, you know? Well, that wasn't true for Sheringham. He was not involved with either of the families. Killing him now must have been a deeply bitter pill for the culprit to swallow. Why do you think Sheringham was killed, Professor? You need to ask. He was in the culprit's way, obviously. Believe me, I can understand how they felt if an unbearingly smug-looking detective showed up like he was running the show amid one of my own schemes. I'd want to send him home in a coffin, too. A detective's presence carries with it the risk of interference in the culprit's plans, or having them exposed when his plans are carried out. Detectives represent any number of problems for criminals, you know. Disposing of them before the plot truly begins is absolutely the best course. It's terrible. It's deeply entertaining, and the artist is very skilled. Yeah. I'm going to endeavor to watch more people's Fate content, just so I can know how I can improve my own, you know? I definitely want to improve and grow more. Loath as I am to admit it, I have to agree. If I were a criminal, I would do the same thing. Furthermore, by killing the detective off first, the person who made the threat has shown that they are not afraid to get their hands dirty. Come to think of it, there was a new development on our end while you were off in Dreamland, Mr. Soul. I was unable to track down the Marble Company, but I did find two other corporations named Goldie Company and Violet Inc. They are both headquarters in a major American city and have vied for control of it for quite some time. So mostly just playing JP since there's a collab event soon. Yeah, I did hear the Fate Requiem collab event. Want to see the new waifus at least, yeah. There's not a lot of info about Fate Requiem. I know that, isn't Galahad Alter in Fate Requiem as a Saber class servant, I want to say? CEO of those two companies are listed as Aaron Golding and Edward Scott Violet. It all lines up perfectly. Okay, so this is actually happening then, in the real world. So it's an American-based company, so perhaps the southern twang for Juliet was actually properly picked. Though unfortunately I was unable to find any information about their families. That doesn't surprise me. Any decent underworld organization leader knows their enemies can get to them through their families, and are sure to keep a tight lid on information regarding them. Then this is really happening right now. Not in the past or the future, or in a singularity. Indeed, I'm doing everything I can to find out more about them. I'll make sure to have more detailed information by the next time you wake. Is that the best the world's greatest detective can do? Give me one of the command room's terminals and I'll have the answers for you in an instant. Huh, I could never be so foolish or intoxicated as to hand over the master key to a known thief. Maybe it'll tease a welfare since every collab event does it. True, every collab event does have a welfare, doesn't it? Shiki, Kuro. Has there been any other welfare events? Or any other collab events? Apocrypha, foresee, I suppose. Has there really been so few collabs? Besides, not even I can get into the command room's mainframe. That is a black box if I ever saw one. I'm falling asleep again. Yawn. Holmes, Professor, Senpai looks like he's about to drift off again. Well, now it seems we've drawn on a bit too long. Based on what you've told us, it's clear who Sheringham was meeting with. Extra case files. Thank you, Destructive. I can't believe I forgot about Extra, especially since Melt was the star of Extra. I really hope that we get a sequel, or that at the very least we get a damn English translation of CCC. That would be nice. Based on who you're meeting with, it's clear who Sheringham. Based on what you told us, it's clear who Sheringham was meeting with. Try to stay awake a little longer, and I'll tell you what I know. It's clear. Yeah, I did say KNK. I said Shiki. So it's clear who Sheringham was meeting with based on what we told him. Based on what we said, it's clear who Sheringham was meeting with. Nobody admitted to being left-handed, though, is the thing. I don't know. I'm kind of going with that earlier assumption that I made, that perhaps Hawthorne, the doctor, was meeting with Sheringham, and perhaps Sheringham is actually not dead, perhaps? He might have faked his death so that he could do this investigation without drawing attention to himself. Because, like Moriarty said, if the detective shows up out of nowhere, they could throw a wrench into your plot. If the detective Sheringham knew this, he knew that he was at danger, so before letting the actual murderer strike, he chose to collaborate with Hawthorne to fake his own death, so that way he's not at risk for being actually killed, and he is more free to investigate things to try and find the actual culprit. So, there's a lot of possible culprits here. There's a lot. I think Hawthorne might be on Sheringham's side, though. And Sheringham might not actually be dead. But we'll find out. Next one is a battle one. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used. And, of course, Juliet shoved us and knocked us out. How much strength does she have? Okay. It's clear who Sheringham was meeting with. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. If no one is there as left-handed, that tells us all we need to know about his guest. But can the culprit just use their non-dominant hand to cover things up? Perhaps when meeting someone for the first time, yes, but you're unlikely to be able to hide your dominant hand from someone you've spent a great deal of time with. With the notable exception of Sheringham, each of our direct characters belongs to his or respective communities, factions, if you like. You're attending a meal where everyone was present, right? If there was a southpaw present who suddenly began using their right hand, someone would have said something. Given that this did not happen, we can conclude that no one there is left-handed. Okay. I do so hate to nitpick, but what if someone there is secretly ambidextrous? Wouldn't make any difference, Professor. An ambidextrous person by definition would have no issue using their right hand. But according to Chris, Sheringham specifically requested a left-handed teacup for his guest. Would this have been necessary if they could simply use their right hand? If you have the answer to that question, I'm happy to hear it. So my playing the devil's advocate only strengthened your case. Well, no matter, I do actually have to agree with you. Go on. Well, if one were to nitpick at my hypothesis, I cannot deny the possibility that Sheringham could have been meeting with Mr. Soul. What? And Senpai's the culprit. I mean, that's a possibility that I've discussed, but... yeah, just because we were asleep doesn't mean that the body we were inhabiting was. Haha, seems I may have touched a nerve. Not to worry, that possibility is extremely remote. I can't speak for a dream body's original owner, of course, but based on what you've told us, you would have had the time. Oh, a third party. Some mysterious character who's still hiding out in the Kogetsukan somewhere. No need for such intricacies, Miss Carolite. Occam's razor provides us with a perfectly reasonable explanation. There's a character here who needs to use his left hand, thanks to the injury he suffered on his right. Morris! That's right. Morris injured his right hand. So Sheringham was possibly meeting with Morris. Morris didn't seem to imply that he met with Sheringham, though. But I don't know. I mean, I suppose Morris does have motivations for doing this. If he wants to live a more playboy lifestyle, then being shackled down would be kind of, you know, bad for him, I suppose. Or at least it could draw a bad image if he were to try and live the playboy's lifestyle while married. So I guess he does have some motivation. But then why would he send it to the Goldie family and not the Violet? I suppose to draw off any sort of suspicions that it could be him. But he doesn't seem that smart, to be honest. Morris doesn't seem that smart. Morris. Most likely, Sheringham noticed Morris's injured right hand and requested the left-handed combine for consideration. Then why would Sheringham feel the need to hide his meeting with Morris from Chris? But there I'm afraid you have backwards, Mrs. Carolite. Sheringham wasn't trying to hide Morris from Chris. It was Chris that he knew he was trying to hide from Morris. In point of fact, at least he wished to hide that Chris was bringing the tea. Chris was also the one responsible for Morris's injured hand, after all. Sheringham would have known that, so as much as hearing Chris's voice could easily put Morris in a foul mood. And as a detective, he would also be well aware that information often freely given is all but impossible to drag out of someone when they are in a foul mood. I'm looking forward to it as well, because I heard that a certain demon god pillar gets to come back to get bullied. Oh, Barbados. But Morris never said anything about meeting with Sheringham. Given what Mr. Soul has told us so far, we know that Morris is both distrustful and simple-minded. Very. I could have swore that it's some sort of demon god pillar raid in the case files collab. It's no surprise he would try to hide his meeting with someone who is dead now. Speaking up now would only arouse suspicion. Even Morris no doubt realizes there are other people prone to think the worst of him. Don't need hearts anymore. I don't actually think that Barbados drops hearts. From what I remember reading about the event, this Barbados will mainly be dropping the materials for Gray to level up. Let me verify that real quick. So 2019 April, Lady Ryan's case files, main quest, free quest, perhaps. Hang on, I'm gonna try and find this. There was another event like this with Barbados got some bones, which is a huge need for me. Okay. I'm trying to find where Barbados is. He's probably under the main quest, if I had to hazard a guess. Barbados raid, there it is. So Barbados raid will have reverse scales, hearts, homunculus, pages, gears, lamps, void dust, assassin gems, and QP. Next White Day event, Moriarty with his bartender outfit. I need Moriarty. I really do want to get Moriarty. He seems like a cool servant, you know? Can't stay awake. Senpai, seems we're out of time, but at least we were able to cover the most pressing matters, albeit briefly. Be sure to keep everything we discussed in mind as you go about investigating this incident. Remember, you are assuming the role of another person. Even if you cannot take any decisive action yourself, you can still keep a close eye on the events that play out around you. You'd do well not to forget that. Right. Every good detective starts by gathering information, after all. I know it's technically a dream for you, Master, but please do your best to stay alert. It's technically a dream for me, but I do understand this is actually happening. Ah, good, you're awake. I was quite taken back to learn you passed out after Juliet shoved you. I'm so sorry, Soul. I guess I'm no better than Kane. Thank you for carrying Soul all this way, Chris. Not at all. My purpose here is to be of service. Yeah, now I know who Sheringham was meeting with. Perhaps, at least. Do you now? Did you receive a flash of insight while you were asleep? Well, go on. Who was it? Morris. I see. It does sound like it could have been Morris. Indeed, we do know that Morris injured his right hand and may have gotten worse after in a misguided feat of machoism he refused treatment. If only I'd known my own strength. Hey, don't beat yourself up. It turned out to be for the best. Now I know who Sheringham met with. Hey, Chris, you see Morris around anywhere? No, I haven't. We were actually looking for him ourselves. See, well, I've been turning the mansion upside down looking for him, but no dice. Is there a problem? Hey sis, the truth is... I see, he may have come back after the fact. I'll keep looking around for the mansion. You and Chris go check out outside. Got it. We'll help you look too. Come on, So Berserker is the enemy, so... Are we fighting the daughter? Or... Raiko, perhaps? So we're either fighting Eva, the Violet Mother, or... Lori, the Goldie daughter? If they go with the standard classes, I suppose. I've been kind of just letting this place go to seed. It's a bit of a jungle right now. A bit? Really? It's so dense out here. This would be a perfect place to lay low. I don't know about that. Or just wild animals. Not with these things running around out here. We better chase them away, Chris. Right. So wild animals, huh? This does not seem like a very safe hotel. I'm gonna be honest here. Can't contact the mainland. Run by very few people. Overgrown environment with wild animals. This is not a safe place to be residing. I swear. Ooh. Big wolf first. There goes crit stars. Ooh. And, by the way, sorry about ignoring you, Phoenix. How is it better voting integration? Start gather rate. And this one is start drop rate. I should have done that first. My bad. Allies NP. In this case, go Buster Wild. Nice. Nice. Come on, get a kill, get a kill. Aw, so close. No idea. Fair. Completely and totally fair. You were just told? Ah, okay. What is Betty's MP gen look like? Same MP gen. Interesting. Alright, Crystar Gather Rate. Chinese boxing. Alright. Finish this, woo. I was about to say, I increased your Star Gather Rate and you crit once, dude. Seriously? Go, Chris, go. There's a crit. We got a seed. Woo! Ha! Wow, you made those wolves look about just as dangerous as puppies. Hey, no sense in killing them. Wolves aren't good to eat. Trust me, no need to chase them. Just need to chase them away. Yes, Wu, I'm all done here as well. Same. Still no sign of the prodigal son, though. Well, the scout here has more wild animals. I guess he's not out here after all. This can be a great place to lie low, but not for a pampered city boy. Have a present for me. Oh boy, oh boy. Present, present, present. I'm guessing it's Nox's Decalogue. Ah. Right, Sherlock did mention the, Oh wait, no, this is all the names of the thing. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Watson's intelligence is very slightly below that of the reader. Wow. That's a dig at Watson. Poor Watson. He could try, but he'd end up just like... No, just... Well, if he did. Catch my drift. Don't say things like that. You're scaring me. Don't worry, Mr. Liat. We haven't seen any signs that Mr. Morris was attacked. If he's not out here, that just leaves the sea, but I really doubt he'd be out there. There are strong currents out there, and we're much too far from the mainland for an amateur to swim for it. Yes, there was no sense looking out here. Let's go back. Yep, all the names are the Decalogue. I saw that. Oh. Finally, they're gone. An unknown player in this, perhaps. Impressed. It looks like those bodyguards really do live up to their reputation. Uh-oh. There's another player in this, then. Perhaps. Or that was Sherlock. Perhaps that was Sherlock. We're back. Hey, Okita! Nice, nice, nice. Fun. Nice, nice, nice. Congrats. Getting that, Okita. Very last part of the spin, too. Oh, hey, any luck? I'm afraid not. We didn't see any sign of him anywhere. Where's Morse? Hasn't anyone found him yet? Honey, I think you've had a little too much to drink. Shut up. No am I making through this without a stiff drink. I can't believe Morse is missing. Our first priority is to keep you all safe, so I'm afraid we can only spare so much resources to look for Morse. What could possibly be a higher priority than Morse's life? He's my heir, you know. Yeah, Okita's pretty awesome. Okita and Nobu, OTP. Daddy, why is Morse missing? No, not now, Lori. Be quiet. Is it because he killed the detective guy? Don't say things like that, though, Lori. But I saw him coming out of the detective guy's room last night. You don't mean that, right, Lori? You and I were both asleep at the time. You just got Okita Alter on JP. Nice, Phoenix. Very nice. I'm probably honestly going to be rolling for her when Gouda Gouda 3 comes out. But, okay, so this does confirm... This does disprove my earlier sentiment about Hawthorne having been the one to plan a possible fake suicide with, Sheringham. It does not discount the idea that Sheringham might have faked his own death. It still doesn't. And this could just be a bit of a red herring in Morris being it. He did also just walk off by himself at the end of the last section. I don't know. It's making him out to be the antagonist here, but that definitely feels like a red herring to me. I woke up really late and snuck out. When I did, I saw him leaving the detective guy's room. Come on now, we're not going to take the word of a child seriously for something so important, are we? We don't want to believe it ourselves, Aaron. But don't you think she might be telling the truth, as there's nothing to gain by her lying? Even if she did see him coming out of his room, that's not proof Morris killed Sheringham. Honey, please calm down. That's fine, Velvet. That is fine. You can head out and come back as you so please. Don't take this me as telling you off your track with your theory, because I don't want you thinking that's what I'm saying with this. I'm saying this. Oh, that's fine, that's fine. Seems to let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. Not at all. I should be apologizing for my lack of tact. We may not be able to say for sure whether Morris is the killer, but wherever he is, there's a chance that he decides to stay in hiding now. If he does, the consequences for the Goldie family could be devastating, and our arrangement would come to a grinding halt. You're only going to stop my theory if I go way off path? Awesome. Good to know. We would much rather not come to that as well. Alright. Given the circumstances, I have a confession to make. Not even my wife, Dorothy, knows about this. What are you talking about, honey? I was hoping to take this with me to my grave, but it seems that it's no longer an option. The truth is, I'm Chris's father. I'm sorry. How does he even know? Okay, how does this change things? How does this change things? So we don't know how old Chris is compared to Morris. it's entirely possible Chris could be the eldest son. That does throw a bit of suspicion on him now, though. Because he might not want this murder to come into play. He might be hoping to knock Morris off so that he becomes the rightful heir to the Goldie family name. But if there's a merger between the two families, then... But Chris said Anna, that's what Jaguar Warrior's taking the place of, is like a mother to him. It could be a play by the Marble Company. Huh? Mr. Aaron. Chris, from the look on your face, I see the company never told you. I was once young and foolish myself. I calmed down somewhat once I married, but I still didn't have a habit of spending a night with women who really caught my eye. That's how you were born, Chris, but by then I had already married my now ex-wife, and we had Morris together. Okay, so Chris is the older. I couldn't take you in under the circumstances, so I asked the Marble Company to look after you. Of course, I agreed to pay for your upbringing as well. I had no idea. Morris will, of course, always be the apple of my eye, but I'm the head of the Goldie family, and so must do what is necessary for its survival. Wait a second, you're not seriously telling us to hand over Chris, are you? You're damn right I am. You're the ones who let Sheringham die, and failed to stop Morris from running away. If anyone is responsible for this mess, it's the Marble Company. You're absolutely right. Fortunately, Chris is still an apprentice. We can afford to let him go. You're still calling him an apprentice after all the time we spent training him. Besides this, you always seem very fond of him. That's enough, Wu. I guess this is a done deal then. Alright, I get it. Looks like you're in luck, Chris. One of these days, you'll be taking over just the whole Goldie family. Naturally, I'll be happy to compensate you for your loss. I'll remain on good terms with the Marble Company, after all. Wait, Miss-san, please let me finish my job here first. It's the least I can do to pay the company back. Alright, I'll continue to treat you as a Marble Company man until we leave this island. Nobody is treating the man I've named as my successor as a common serv... No, never mind. I can see this is a matter of integrity. I will permit it this one time. Miss-san, thank you for everything. I'll never forget what you did for me. Hold on. If Chris is joining the Goldie family, then that would mean... Juliet will instead be engaged to Chris. This will serve to fill our mutual goal. Huh? No way! What's the problem? This is turning out to be a good deal. You should be happy for it. Mr. Juliet, I know I still have a lot to learn, but I hope I can earn your trust in time. Okay, that sounds nice. Don't be so subservient, Chris. You don't need to worry about what the other people think of you now. You'll be running the Goldie... No, the Goldie and the Violet families one day. Oh boy. What a delectable dinner. I'm afraid I have a bit too much to eat, though. I'll have to take some antacids. There's something wrong, my dear girl. Do you need some antacids, too? No, that's okay. It's not my stomach. Oh, yes, there must have been a lot on your mind right now. Processing the new terms of your engagement. But I dare say this was a lucky break. I know I would much rather marry Chris than Morris. Don't you agree, Soul? Yeah, Aaron's a top-tier asshole. For sure, for sure. Hey, so I had you, and I'm Ben, and you let this company take care of you. Now that my other oldest son is gone missing and might be a murderer, I'm taking you back for myself, you know? And you don't need to worry about what other people think of you. No, no, no. I don't know. That just seems very suspicious. Very convenient as well. And An let him go without a fight. Okay, there's now more... This just got a lot more complicated. It's no longer a simple matter. I need somebody else to die so I can draw more conclusions here. Are you serious? Why are you happy about this? What's wrong with you? Where are you going, Juliet? I'm going to my room. Just leave me alone. Good grief. As long as I've lived, I still don't understand woman. Still, she's right. I wouldn't have said that. I'll go apologize to her. I mean, in this instance, you know. I heard the whole thing. Pretty sorry sight. Is something wrong with Chris? Oh no, I'm sure he'll make a great husband. Juliet knows that too. But it's just not that simple. Then again, I guess it's the native. The naivety of yours that tugged at her heartstrings in the first place. Okay, I knew it! Juliet does have a thing for us. Ha! I was right about that deduction. I am so smart. Look, it doesn't matter what you think, okay? This is about how Juliet feels. Do you know she has hardly any friends? In fact, you're the only one she's got left. Oh. You really don't know. Didn't you ever run into some shady people at college trying to scare you about us? You know, people warning you that even though the Violet family is famous, there's a lot of nasty rumors about us. Warning that you spending time around a daughter of that family will mess up your chances at a good life. Stuff like that. I'm pretty sure some Goldie family supporters were behind it. It really was a cheap move on their part. But I can't say the rumors were all complete fabrications either. You do have to get nasty sometimes to keep control over an entire city. But our way of life is built upon the blood, sweat, and tears of many people. Some of them dead. We're mostly used to things being that way, but Juliet's always had a harder time with it. That's why everyone who approached her just because she was a pretty daughter of a wealthy family ended up running away. Juliet knew about our family's reputation too, of course, so she understood what people thought of us when people she thought of as friends stopped spending time with her. But understanding why doesn't make things any easier. It really devastated her, even to the point where she'd cry herself to sleep sometimes. That's kind of sad. That's why she was so glad when you didn't let these rumors drive you away. Honestly, don't know what she could have done without you. In that sense, you're very special to her, and I so hope you'll remain a friend, as long as you're still okay with it. Well, good night then. Night. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, when Harriet came up, I was figuring she might try to seduce us. I definitely thought she was gonna try to seduce us. It's great being a kid. Nobody gets mad at you for clowning around, and you don't have to work like the grown-ups do. But the best part is that nobody ever suspects you. Someone's here. There you are. First you sneak out of bed again, and now I find you hiding in this pitch-dark room. Oh. Oh, hi, Mummy. Looks like she found us. Chris, or Kane. So I'm currently grinding XP in Japan for the Requiem collab. Grind those experience. Grind it out hard. Yes, guess so. Oh, Lori, I was so worried when I didn't see you anywhere after I woke up. You have to tell me when you want to play hide and seek. Why you always make me go to bed too early? I want to stay up and keep playing. Sorry, Lori, but game's over once you've found. We'll just have to pick this up tomorrow. Thank you, Kane. Mauer's never plays with her like this. She's so happy to have a new big brother. I like being a big brother, too. My sisters have always been weirdly grown up, I guess. I can see that. Alright, it's getting late. Time to go back to bed. Okay. For your own sanity, please remember this scene. You've seen multiple people forget this scene exists. Okay, so remember this scene in particular. I will admit that I definitely throw suspicion on both Lori and Kane here. This scene definitely just gave them a big ball of suspicion. See, the only issue here with them using servants is we don't get an actual idea of what their ages are. We understand that they are kids. However, kids can cover a very broad range of age. We know that Juliet and Harriet are both college age. We get the idea that Chris and Morris are probably college age, maybe a little bit older. However, Kane and Lori, we have absolutely zero ideas of what their age is. Actually, strike that. Lori is likely 10 years or younger, because it was 10 years ago that Aaron married Dorothy? I can't remember who Marie's name is. Kane is high school. Okay. I don't remember seeing anything about that. It said in chapter 1. I know it said something about soccer with regards to him. I guess I didn't pay attention to them mentioning he was in high school. Okay, so high school, 10 or younger, college or older. Okay. And Lori has shown that she is devious. She did hide her mother's necklace. Alright, I'm gonna sleep too. Now where's that light switch? Yep, I love being a kid. Now, what suspects the kid? That is true. I even said it myself. I did not suspect them because of their age. That does throw a bit of suspicion onto them. Again, it could be a red herring, but nobody ever suspects the kid. Let's finish this chapter and then I'll draw some conclusions on what we've learned. Good morning, Senpai. What happened this time? So a fair princess finds herself betrothed not to the common ruffian, but to a perfect prince now. I suppose it does make for a happy ending of sorts, but in narrative terms it still seems lacking. I think this is a wonderful development myself. I'm so happy for Juliet I could burst. But then again, I guess this isn't really the time to be saying that sort of thing, is it? Now with Sheringham murdered and Morris missing. There is presently little sense in discussing Morris's possible whereabouts. There are more important matters to discuss. Indeed, namely the surprise reveal of the new Goldie family heir, which makes him a new target. Ah. If the culprit's goal is to prevent the two families from coming together, then it's quite possible that they were involved in Morris's disappearance as well. If that's so, the revelation about Chris will have completely blindsided them. As such, they may need to resort to brute force once again. Another unexpected development, eh? Between the detective's sudden appearance and the surprise of Chris's parentage, it would seem that luck is against our dear criminal. Just when they thought they had eliminated the Goldie family's sole heir, a new candidate presents himself. If the culprit is going to make another move, it will most certainly be at night. I won't want to miss this opportunity, after all. I expect they'll either go after Chris or Juliet. Yeah, Juliet might end up dead. That's not good. Rush to bed. I thought we were rushing to bed. Okay, that's great. That's excellent. Senpai, please stop. Please don't bang your head against the wall. You could give yourself a concussion. Yes. Yes, I did. I mean, I suppose that is one way to render yourself unconscious. Calm down, Mr. Soul. Even you should manage to knock yourself out. There's no guarantee that you'll wake up at the Kogetsukan straight away. Yeah, and plus, you know, there's better ways to get me knocked out. I'd have to ask Moriarty and Holmes to leave the room, but, you know, there is better ways to get knocked out. For sure. Mash stays, though. She's very necessary for that knocking you out step. At any rate, you need to steel yourself for whatever tragedy may come next you out. If you want to continue investigation with a clear mind. Though, of course, it would be best if there were not more tragedies at all. I don't know. More tragedies would help us narrow down the list of candidates. Okay. So, information gained from this chapter. Morris is still missing. There are wild animals. There's a potential third party in all this, given that strange figure that we saw in the jungle. I'm still not discounting that it might be Holmes. Still not discounting it. Morris is missing. Chris is the new Goldie family heir, which means Juliet needs to marry Chris. Juliet does have feelings for our character, as implied by Harriet, and she has no other friends. Something that our character is unaware of, and we're not sure which of the two children thought it, is both Lori and Kane are the two children, and one of them thought that nobody suspects the children. It's very possible that the two of them are plotting things together in all this. I still am ruling out both Aaron and Adamska as possible culprits to all this. Eva, Harriet, Juliet are still pretty decent suspects, but that scene with the kids does bring forth both Kane and Lori as potential suspects as well. Kane is high school, Lori is 10 or less. Now, a less than 10-year-old can still be a killer. There is nothing saying that that is not a possibility. Psychopathy is a very real thing. But motive would be what we're looking for here. The possible motive is to stop a merger between the two families so that this third family, this third element can potentially take control. We know the men of the Goldie and the Violet families both do not want this merger to occur, but if it's under the Marvel Company's jurisdiction, then there's nothing they can really do to question it. Now, given that thing about not suspecting the children, Kane is in the right age range where he might be getting swayed by this third party. But then the question becomes, why not just threaten his own family? He did say his sisters have always been mature for their age, but that does not necessarily mean that they are bad to him. We don't know too much about the relationship between Juliet, Harriet, and Kane. So it's possible, very possible, that Kane might be working with the third unknown factor in an effort to help the Violet family stay around by getting rid of the Goldie family. But the marriage would cause a merger. So Kane, not wanting harm to come to his sisters, perhaps even just wanting Juliet, because if Harriet noticed it, then perhaps Kane noticed it as well. Perhaps Kane does not want Juliet to feel sad and acting as the little brother protecting his older sisters. Perhaps he's trying to take out the Goldie family in an effort to get the third criminal element to turn away from the Violet family and take out the weakened Goldie family. So that could be Kane's motives. Laurie is a bit of a wild card as well, though, because we don't know much about Aaron's wife, Dorothy, I think it is. I can never remember. Whoever Marie is. 10 years ago was when the marriage occurred. It's possible that she might have connections to the third family, and both her and Laurie are actually working from within the Goldie family to usurp it and hand it over to this third family, this third element. And the addition of Chris is a curveball that they weren't expecting, and it is implied that Morris does not care much for his new stepmom, or whatever. So, I don't know. This chapter has definitely added a lot of extra suspects. Everybody has almost everybody has motives here to pull this off. Let's not forget the Marvel Company as well, with Chris being the secret, or not so secret to them, heir to the Goldie family. This might be a play by them, perhaps, because Chris clearly has loyalty to the Marvel Company. So perhaps this is an effort to get Chris in control of both families, so the Marvel Company can perhaps flourish. In fact, maybe the Marvel Company is the third power. Still a lot to not know. A lot more motives have been sort of revealed in all this. And I'm still not discounting Juliet either. So racist rule 5. No strange foreigners must figure in the story. No strange foreigners. Yeah, that is definitely a little racist, isn't it? I will laugh if they include a foreigner servant, though. That'd be hilarious. What is it? Do you have any idea what time it is? I was having a really good dream, you know. Whew, you're alright. Good. Oh, is that a blush? You big dummy, you always overreact. But since I'm up now, why'd you think I was gonna die? Now I see. You think someone here wants to put an end to the engagement. I don't think there's anything to worry about, though. I mean, if our families don't join forces, then either we go down fighting each other, or end up falling victim to some outside power. Everyone here knows that. That's why even Morris is getting along with this. You don't think there'll be any more murders? I don't think so, anyway. I mean, what would be the point? But we can't rest easy just yet. We should go check on Chris, too, just to be sure. Just give me a moment to freshen up. Okay. Holmes explains why it exists, and it isn't necessarily meant to be racist. It does, just like, the line by itself does have some connotations, but I can definitely see why it could not necessarily mean to it. Foreigners doesn't need to imply a foreign person, foreign nationality. It could be a foreigner to the case in and of itself. An outside force that is now suddenly becoming involved in the case. I can see that being the reason for it. Good morning. Why are you two up so early? If you're here for breakfast, I'm afraid it isn't ready. I just wanted to check in on Chris. Man, what a lucky guy he is. I wish I had a beautiful girl to wake me up. Anywho, that works out nicely. I was just wondering when he'd get up. I could use some help with his chores, but I didn't want to wake him up. I mean, he is going to be an important client of ours soon. Well then, let's all go wake him up together. I think this was his room, right? Good morning, Chris. Are you up yet? No answer. Is Chris not a morning person or something? That shouldn't be an issue. He's been trained to wake up if he hears anything suspicious. That's strange. Then why would he... Wait, why is his door unlocked? Oh, no. Okay. Well, I did. So, Chris is dead. Alright, just from this scene, he didn't write that. Chris did not write that. Because that is definitely written with... Yeah, I mean... If he wrote that, he would have had to write that with his pinky. Because look at how the hand is positioned. I wish I could get rid of the he's dead thing here. Look at how the hand is positioned. Yes, there is blood on his index finger, but if he wrote that, he would have covered his hand with it so that if the killer came to check up on him, they didn't see it. The fact that his hand is positioned like that makes me think that somebody used his hand to write that. Yes, it is very nicely written, but it also draws the prime. It gives a very clear indication as to who the suspect is, and that is a massive, massive red herring. There's no way that the killer would not make sure that he's dead, because the killer made sure that Sheringham was dead. Sheringham would have written this down as well if it was Morris being the killer. But the fact that it says more right here implies, oh, he died while trying to write out the name of his assailant. Plus, Morris has got a broken right hand. How is he? And he's already proven to lose in a fight to Chris. There's no way he committed this murder. Huh? Chris, no, it can't be. He's definitely gone. His body's already cold. Guess he died sometime around midnight. I'll go get Dr. Hawthorne. I want someone to get this autopsy over and done with before anyone else shows up. Alright, I just did a quick autopsy. I didn't see any major injuries, but I did find 3 small wounds. See that red spot on the top of his right hand? It's a puncture wound, likely made by a needle. If the killer used poison, like, say, wolfsbane, it would only take a single prick to paralyze the victim. This other red spot on his hand is likely the second needle prick, just to be certain he didn't survive. Okay, so wolfsbane, it would paralyze the victim. If he's paralyzed, he can't write. At this point, I can't say what kind of poison we used, but if 2 small wounds are enough to kill him, it must have been a very strong stuff. Yeah, what about the third wound? Oh, I don't believe it's directly connected to his death. Take a look at the tip of his left index finger. It looks like there's a little blood on it. When did that injury occur from? Well, it seemed he bit his finger himself so as to use his blood to write a message on the floor. I don't believe that. I don't believe that is him. I don't believe that. That's what it looks like to me, too, though I don't know what it could mean. Well, it's more just French for death, but I can't imagine why he would write that while he was dying. Boy, I wonder if... What is it, Wu? Nothing, just thinking out loud. Chris can hold his own in a fight. He'd never let someone else get the better of him that easily. That assumes this was a fight. What if he merely shook his killer's hand? If our culprit had palmed a poison needle, then it's likely a simple handshake could be fatal. Well, rude of me to ask this, but... What is it? I won't be offended. Well, whoever killed Chris must have been someone he knew fairly well to let his guard down, right? On top of that, someone who's experienced enough to kill cleanly and quietly. You're the first person who comes to mind. Hand may have slid while he was dying, but if you looked at... I mean, the detail is really important in this, though, is the thing. And there didn't look to be, like, a blood trail from the writing to where his hand ended up coming to final rest. And there was no real blood pool beneath that as well. So I mean, they could have just not drawn it. I fully admit they could have just not drawn that. But I fully believe that the MOR thing was staged. No, I getcha. You're not wrong. Well, let me show you something else then. Huh. How'd you do that? It's an illusion. All I'm doing is moving fast enough that you can only see the after images. I have to move this fast if I'm going to see everyone's needs. That's just bad inconsistency. He did make the message. Okay. Okay, that is fair. If you can do that, why... What can't you do? Yeah, that's a good question. It's true, there is pretty much nothing I can't do. I probably shouldn't say this in front of guests, but if I wanted to, I could kill everyone here in about the time it takes for you to snap your fingers. Oh my. Oh, but don't worry, I wouldn't actually do that. I got the assassination business a long time ago. But I'll certainly say this much, I didn't kill Chris. If I was gonna kill him, I wouldn't have done it like this. Giving him time to write a message is an amateur move. Good point. I do believe you will. Thanks, Miss Juliet. Looks like Chris left another message. Take a look at this. A pocket watch. Looks pretty old. It is. Just gave it to him. He polished it every day. Always made sure it got good working order, too. It stopped at 11:25, and the glass is cracked. Looks like it's broken. Alright, Chris Good took care of it, so there's no chance to have it just randomly broke last night. Especially since it's last. I bet anything he broke it himself on purpose. Tell whoever found him when he met the killer. Okay. Exactly. So that would mean he met with the killer in this room a little before 11:25 last night. That'd be my guess. If the killer had killed him somewhere else and moved his body here, I never noticed that happening. This will make everyone's alibis important to figuring out who the killer is. For my part, I was playing poker with Aaron at Upscan on last night. We started around 10 o'clock and kept going until about 3 in the morning. We did take a few short breaks, but nobody left the room for long. It was a damn good game. I'd stick around to watch until midnight myself. I haven't seen that since that fight up in a long time. Okay, so... That's... Lori and Kane. Lori snuck out. Dorothy was looking for her. I was in my room with my sister around that time last night. Does that count even though we're family? Counts in my book, and I'm not just saying that because you believed me when I said I didn't kill Chris. You really seem to be telling the truth. Oh, come to think of it, you've got an alibi at that time of night too, Soul. You were already completely passed out. How did you know? Oh, that's easy. Our poker game was in the room next to yours. Hard not to hear your snoring. I don't snore. Okay, so that kind of discounts the idea that my body, you know, whoever is actual inhabitant is the actual killer. But I'll leave all the alibis and stuff to you. You're the detective now, right? I hate thinking of alibis and that sort of thing. You do? I know I said there's nothing I can't do, but there's not strictly true. I'm useless with riddles. All the things I can do, none of it's gonna help Chris now. Please, Soul, you gotta find whoever did this to him. I'll give it my best shot. Good choice of words. I have every confidence in you. Anyway, enough chit-chat. We'll run this round. Everyone up. You should round everyone up and tell them what happened. Did you really think the detective was the killer? I didn't think Sheringham was the killer. I thought Sheringham might have faked his own death so that he could do this investigation in secret and without risk to himself. I thought that whoever is the actual inhabitant of the body that we are overshadowing during the daytime might be doing it while we are asleep as well, because there could be some motive there, you know. But I suppose if we were snoring when Chris was killed, you know, Yeah, we are the detective now, I suppose. By the time we got to Chris's room, it was already too late. Oh no, poor Chris.
Where's Anne? I don't see her anywhere. She's carrying Chris down to the basement, which is serving as a mortuary for now, I guess. She wanted to at least do that much for him herself. I see then. Chris really is dead. And just when I'd named him my successor. What terrible timing.
Why are you looking at me like that? You think I'm the one who killed him? Well, I didn't. I was putting Laurie to bed. You have to believe me.
Please calm down, Miss Dorothy.
I was right, it is Dorothy! The story detective is the viewpoint character who detects and gathers evidence, i.e. us. Okay, that is fair. That is fair. But I mean, I know there was a video game, like, I don't know if it was in the past few years or whatever, but it was like you were playing the detective, but you were actually just trying to cover up the killer or something like that. I can't remember the exact plot of it, and I never played it. I've just heard things about it. Yeah, I think that might be it. I think that might be it.
As it turns out, Chris managed to write down more right before he died. He didn't get to finish his message, but it seems like more likely that it's a clue as to who killed him.
It's bad because it breaks the rules. Okay, that's fair.
And there is someone whose name starts with Moore here, isn't there?
Moore, you don't mean Morris.
I don't see how it could be anyone else. So you're saying Morris killed Chris, is that it?
I'm just saying it's possible. He might be still be hiding somewhere outside.
Oh my, hope I haven't offended you. Not at all, it's the best news I've heard since they left on this trip. As long as Morris is still alive, the Goldie family still has a bright future. Are you listening, Morris? Come out now and I'll hire you as my best... I'll hire you the best lawyer money can buy.
Okay. I mean, I suppose it is a crime family, so murder is something they do, but that's a fair bit cold-hearted.
Honey, he's taking his pretty hard, isn't he? At any rate, we're going to start running things around here to ensure there isn't any more mistakes. That doesn't mean we're going to start locking you up in your rooms or anything, but if you want to stay alive, I'm going to ask that you follow our instructions as much as possible.
Hey, Soul, please don't die, okay? I can't die. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Surprise Summer Raiko here. Surprise Summer Raiko. I really should have expected this. I really, really should have expected this. This event does not break any of the Decalogue. Okay.
Oh, hello, Soul.
Yeah, why?
I just wanted to go for a little swim since we all came all this way to this lovely resort and all. I doubt Wu will approve, though, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yes, did anything... Okay. I don't know if this is an error on the part of the translation team, or if that implies anything else. But that's Miss, not Mrs. there. Again, it could just be a slight error on the translation team's part that they didn't put Mrs. and they put Miss, but I don't know. If it's a translation error, then it doesn't lead to anything. If it's not a translation error, then that opens up a whole other can of worms. I'm gonna be honest here.
Miss Violet? Well, that's a strange question. No, Mother turned in early last night. I think it must have been around 10, maybe 11. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact time. Oh, I just had a lovely idea. We could all go for a swim. That way, we could still keep an eye on us. I'll go suggest it to him right now. I hope you can join us, Soul.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure if that is a translation error or if it implies anything further, but just saying. It could open up a whole other can of worms.
I'm glad we could come to an agreement. Likewise, I too would like to be tremendously grateful for such a resolution. Thank you for coming to me with this. Oh, it's you. Thank you for being such a good friend to Juliet. You must think I'm a terrible excuse for a father offering my own daughter in a political marriage.
I mean, yeah, but there's gotta be some reasons. Yeah, turn in early for the night, third person. That's... I caught that too. I definitely caught that too. That's, yeah. And she's, I don't know. I don't trust Eva either. You know? She seemed like she was trying to get with Chris. She's throwing some subtle hints our way. I don't know. Yes, that is true, Shusaku, and welcome, welcome, welcome. But, this isn't Raiko is the issue here, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure you have reasons. This feels like I could get some more, like what those reasons might be out of him. It's okay, it's the truth, and while we're on the subject, I'll admit I'm a terrible leader too. I'm a coward. Tended to lurk today because I got stuff to do until Monday. Ah, that's fair. That is completely fair. But it's because I'm a coward that I can tell which way the wind is blowing. I saw that if I don't do something, the Violet family would have no future whatsoever. If we didn't suffer heavy losses in an all-out war with the Goldie family, we would only end up falling prey to a powerful enemy from elsewhere. So the whole time, the diagram Ritsuko asked Mash to make was accurate. Yes, we also want to catch something for the event. Yeah, the diagram we asked to make does not necessarily need to be accurate, so I don't know. It's possible, very, very possible, that so Eva is definitely the mother to, at the very least, the twins. That is a guarantee. However, I guess that does not imply that Adamska is the father. He seems to be taking up a fatherly role. I don't know, that line of dialogue, it caught me off guard, I'm gonna admit. I think it might be, it might not be a translation team error. That could open up a whole other freaking can of worms. So I came to the conclusion that an alliance with the Goldie family was our only option for survival. I never had anything going for me besides my family name. I was never cut out for this world. I was just lucky enough to receive an offer for an arranged marriage with the Violet family's daughter. I was intoxicated by her beauty at first sight, and it wasn't long until we were married. I thought there was nothing I couldn't do so long as it would make her happy. Yeah, Eva isn't Raiko, yeah. I know. Sometimes it's hard to, separate that, but I don't know. That was what let me do my best at a job that was frankly beyond me for the next 20 years. I would assume the translation team just did write the important points out and wrote anything new with just these points. That is fair. But now I'm the head of the whole Violet family. I have to think about what's best for my children and for my subordinates. You should refer to yourself in the third person. Yeah. So, wait, Destructive, are you kind of implying that that might not have been Eva? Are you saying that might have been somebody disguised as Eva, perhaps? Destructive? My wife was against this idea, but for once I went against her wishes, especially when Juliet agreed to go ahead with it. I mean, she wouldn't say no. Eva wouldn't refer to herself in the third person. Yes. So that wasn't actually Eva we were talking to. You really do know her well. I'm actually relieved. As it turns out, Dorothy just came to me with an interesting proposition. If Aaron agrees to it, it should solve all of our problems. But then I guess there isn't much point in telling you about this. Just forget I said anything. The point is, if all goes well, Juliet will be free. I'm sure you want that just as much as I do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to think of a way to convince Aaron. Oh, okay.
There you are. Where have you been all this time?
Gathering info.
Oh, okay. Well, you shouldn't have to do that all alone. I'll go with you.
Miss Juliet does a convincing play of stoic, but she really is worried about you.
You really didn't need to tell him that.
Oh, I just remembered. Miss Eva suggested we all go to the beach after we've had lunch.
Well, I guess we could use a breather, given the circumstances.
I'm making all the wrong assumptions. No! Okay. I'll wait until the end of the chapter to make any sort of deductions. I'll go ahead and whip up some lunch for now. I think I'm getting sleepy here. Hey, you were looking kind of drowsy. Go ahead and catch some Z's if you want. I'll make sure to wake you up. Feel free to stretch out on that sofa over there. Wait till I finish Chapter 7. Okay.
Welcome back, Senpai. What happened over there? Chris, too. That's awful.
What's up, Holmes? Oh, it's nothing of importance. I was just thinking about all these alibis could mean. Oh, do stop beating around the bush, would you? If you don't know the answer, just say so. Well, at least I finally found a way to get you to pipe down. By the way, is this Wu person foreign?
Come to think of it, I think one of the commandments in Nox's Decalogue was no mysterious foreigners must figure into the story. Does that have anything to do with this case?
This may be hard for you two to believe, but having grown up in this modern era... But during the golden age of detective fiction, some people believe quite fervently that foreigners held mysterious powers. Okay. I have no way of knowing what Nox may have truly meant by the maxim, but thinking conventionally, I would think it means not to rely on beings with unknown abilities, foreign or otherwise, to connect your story's dots.
I mean, I wasn't really relying on Wu to connect any dots, that was the thing.
In that sense, we can take Wu at his word and strike him from the list of suspects. No blind, uninspired case where just about anything goes would ever fall into the lap of a detective such as myself.
That's true, mystery relying on cheap tricks and bizarre gimmicks isn't really something that anyone would enjoy solving, is it?
Oh, I will say I had a number of foreign connections myself. Would you mind bragging about your connections in the East End another time?
Hello, Hado. It's Old Man Jenkins in a rubber mask. Oh, you bring a good point, Hado. You bring a good point. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Old Man Jenkins. That's where most of my detective knowledge is coming from, though, is Scooby-Doo. It's all from Scooby-Doo. You bring up good point. You bring up good points, Shadow. You bring up good points. Old Man Jenkins in a mask. I can't believe I discounted that possibility.
I don't know, I'd like to focus on Chris's dying message.
You mean the more he wrote in his own blood?
Indeed, I can certainly understand wishing to leave behind an accusation of one's killer's death once death is certain. We do not have enough information to be certain that Morse is what meant to write. Though it is only 6 letters, it may have been too much to write out while he was at death's door.
I guess so. I know if I was a murder victim, I would try to write at least some hint of the killer's identity. Me and my roommate plans to watch the new Scooby movie tonight. I have seen so many trailers of that movie. I've been on VRV watching Food Wars, because that's the most recent anime I got into. And for like the past week, almost every advertisement has been about the new Scooby-Doo movie. I swear, like 3 advertisements in a row were of the Scooby-Doo movie. The same exact ad. It's insane. How can I watch Food Wars? I don't know. I find it to be a pretty fun anime. It's a pretty fun anime. I've caught through all 4 seasons. Oh, Bacarina. Oh, Bacarina. Bacarina. Oh, man. I will freely admit, that show, Otome game, insert, has caught me as well. The density that is black hole... The black hole density that is Bacarina. Oh, man. That is such a fun little anime. I will freely admit, that is such a good one. I've been caught up in that as well. I really do hope that it goes for a while. BRV has all the old Scooby-Doo stuff. Does it now? Huh. Might have to check that out. Because I want to rewatch some of the old movies, like Cyber Sleuth. Scooby-Doo Cyber Sleuth was one of the best. Zombie Island terrified the hell out of me. I will freely admit, when I was young. Does that mean you've already figured out what the message really means then, home? What is Otome game? Hey, Infinity! Welcome, 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 and I believe happy birthday to you as well, Infinity. But Otome is a kind of video game genre. Visual novel, I think? Yeah, male dating. That's it. Thank you, Infinity. Thank you. Yeah. There you go. That works out as well. But it's the most recent one. It's been fairly high on the anime Reddit's charts, taking 3rd place, I think since it's come out, actually.
It's beaten out a lot of other heavy hitters lately. And now the pairings of it have been taking the storm as well, because you are lethargic and sleepy. Well, it is like 5 in the morning for you, Infinity, so that's no surprise. I have a hypothesis, but that would be little point in voicing it now. Will that be because you lack confidence in it, or because you want to suspect it still lies ahead? But yeah, I've been caught in Baccarena's... Yes, Jolter would so... Oh man, that is Jolter's thing. Jolter would so be into Otome games. Oh man. But yeah, if nobody has watched, I gotta look up the full name of it. Wait, it's My Next Life as a Villainess is what you might know it more easily by. My Next Life as a Villainess. That might be a little bit more recognizable insofar as names go. If you haven't watched it, it is a fun little anime, and I quite enjoy it. So, you know, that's a suggestion from me to all of you. Same thing with, the Shield. I don't want to take any damage, so I'll put all my points into Vitality, which got a Season 2 announced a while ago, which I'm so pumped for. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting anime that have been coming out recently. But back to this. Interpret that as you like. I really want to avoid coloring our impressions before we have all the data we need to resolve this case. My job is to reveal the truth, after all, so where possible I'd like to deal strictly in facts. Besides, the only one who truly needs to know how valid my deductions are at any given point is myself. There you see, this is exactly why I can't stand detectives. You care more about how you plan to solve this case than you do the well-being of the people fearing for their lives. I dare say if anyone here is cold-hearted villain, it is you, not I. Oh. May I remind you, Professor, I was never the architect of any mysteries of my own, particularly not involving murder. There's actually one other thing I've been wondering about. What Dorothy proposed to Adamska? Well, that mystery is not nearly so difficult. One simply needs to consider the difficult position Dorothy is in and her temperamental nature to arrive at the answer. Though, of course, it will mean little if Aaron refuses to go along. I would like to know this answer you've come to, Holmes. Sleepy sleep, sleepy sleep. I would seem we are once more out of time. Well, one last word of advice. Now that Chris is dead, the game is well and truly afoot. Don't let your guard down. Moriarty literally tried to start a war. Oh yeah. Sherlock Holmes has had a lot of interesting interpretations through the years. A lot of interesting interpretations. I've only seen a couple of them, and the BBC Sherlock is the one that I've found that I like the most, though from what I understand, a lot of people don't like that interpretation of Sherlock, so I don't know. That's my opinion on it. That Sherlock was pretty good. I know that there was a Sherlock TV series on CBS. I know Robert Downey Jr. played Sherlock in a movie. Yeah. But the BBC Sherlock I actually quite enjoyed. Even if it was very, very spread out with their episodes. Like, good lord, the new release time betweens. But no accident nor unaccountable intuition must. Let's see what this is about. Yeah. If I was any good at drawing things, I would so try and draw Jolter playing Fortune Lover, which is the Otome game from the anime. Because I feel like that would actually happen. Thank you for enlightening me to that possibility. Ahado F120. Ahado. If you're fine with me just calling you that. That's shorthand. Because that is an A, yeah? Yeah, that's an A. That's about time you woke up. You missed lunch entirely, you know that? How did I get to the beach? I fell asleep on a couch. This is the beach, obviously. You look so peaceful I didn't want to wake you, so I carried you here. Dude. I've never seen anyone sleep so soundly under a beach umbrella before. Must be nice. I don't know. I'd say Mr. Aaron and Dr. Hawthorne are giving Soul a good run for their money. They're both napping after that big lunch. Anyway, you might have missed lunch, but I kept some leftover sandwiches for you if you like. Everyone's just here relaxing, then? Relaxing? Well, yeah, there's that, but it's also a good way to stay safe, nowhere to hide, so you can see a threat coming from a mile away. You can't see Xalter playing a normal visual novel? Yeah, that's why it would have to be an Otome game. It would definitely be it. I mean, we've already... If you just call him Shadow, it'll be easier for everyone. Fair. But yeah. I mean, the fake Da Vinci event was literally Xalter trying to give herself harem protagonist EX. She literally was building up a harem. Easier for my voice, easier in everyone's ears. Fair. And on top of that, this warm weather pretty much ensures that people dress lightly, which makes it really easy to tell if they're carrying a weapon. Of course, you could still probably hide a tiny poison-tipped needle. It's a pretty normal type of visual novel. I wouldn't think that, to be honest. I honestly wouldn't think that. Then again, I didn't count on those two being the only ones to change into swimsuits. Guess everyone else is keeping the guard up. If you ask me, they're just letting their guard down way too easily. Come and join us, Juliet. The water's great. Hey, just how old do you think I am? It's been ages since I just splashed around like that. Oh, is that so? Because it looks to me like you're just embarrassed to wear a swimsuit in front of Sol. Oh, shut up and leave me alone. I know I'm not about to let the sun damage my skin. I'll just stay in this umbrella and enjoy a little nap myself. You're going to take a nap, even though someone might be trying to kill us. Don't worry, you'll be just fine with me here. I'll keep the whole family safe. That's true. I guess we'll be all right with you here, Daddy. You never were much help, were you, Daddy? Hurt. Just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it. You and your sister are a lot alike, huh? You think? I know we're technically twins, but we're actually fraternal. I don't see much resemblance myself. Okay. Okay, that is interesting. That just added a whole new twist onto things. Because I was starting to go, I'm gonna be honest here. I was caught in the trap that they looked similar because Theno and Uriel look similar. I was thinking that, because it just like occurred to me occasionally that how do we know that we're always actually talking to Juliet during all these? How did we know that they were switching places with one another for one reason or another? Because occasionally Juliet acts different, you know? Being relatively unconcerned about the dead body, but concerned about other things, seems very emotional. You know, like when we implied that it'd be fine if she married Chris. I was getting a niggling feeling in the back of my head that perhaps they've been switching places periodically through this. But with this mention that they're fraternal, that throws that theory out the window. So, yeah. Well, that's at least one thing narrowed down. But by the way, Infinity, didn't you say today was your birthday? I want to say. Or yesterday for you, perhaps? Personality-wise, I think she takes after Mother. They're both really free-spirited. I'm honestly kind of jealous. You get your serious side from me. Sure, Daddy. Let's leave it at that. Who would have reason to disguise themselves as Eva? Yeah, you got a good point. You got a good point, Destructive. It was just, you know, the whole Miss thing that kind of threw me off there. And the referral to themselves in the third person, I don't know. That kind of threw me a little bit off. Well, again, as I said when you first joined, happy birthday, Infinity. I wish you many more, and that you have a good birthday at that. Aren't you going for a swim, Lori? I've got you a bathing suit and everything. That's okay, it's more fun to play with Kane. Hey, Lori, I found some crabs over there. Crabs, be right there. Alright, just be careful. I'll be right here if you need me. Now that I think of it, did you ever ask Dorothy about her alibi, Sol? Yeah, I should probably take care of that, you know? Dorothy, please don't take this the wrong way. You see, we've been asking everyone this. What were you doing last night? Me? I was putting Lori to bed around 10. I fell asleep beside her shortly after, and we didn't wake up until morning. Ask Lori if you like, but I don't think she'll have much to say since she fell asleep before me. Okay, so we, as the player, know that that right there is a bold-faced lie. because Lori woke up in the middle of the night to go and see Kane. That's a bold-faced lie right there. Only we know that. In-game, we don't. That's why you told me to remember the scene. Yes! And Dorothy is also proposing another possible thing. Nobody ever suspects the kids. Many miss that and get really effing confused later. Okay. So... Dorothy is lying here. Giving us false information. Tied for herself and potentially Lori. Still assuming the diagram mastery for Ritsuka is accurate. I'd have to look at that diagram again, to be honest here.
Got it, thank you. You're quite welcome. What a lovely day. I had no idea the beach was so fun. I think I'll go for a swim myself. Dorothy's showing a good mood, isn't she?
Of course, she's the second wife. With Morris missing and Chris dead, Lori's all set to inherit control of the Goldie family. Assuming that Ritsuka thought that he understood the relationships were shown correctly. Which means her own position in the family is all but secure since she's Lori's mother.
I see, that makes sense. She certainly looked like she was at a loss for words when Aaron revealed that Chris was his son. Wait, you're not saying Dorothy killed Chris, are you, Daddy?
No, I'm not saying that. It just seems to be a good motive is all.
I'm sorry, did I scare you?
No, you just startled me a little bit. Is there something I can do for you, Dorothy?
Have you seen Lori anywhere? I think she ran off when I wasn't looking. Come to think of it, I don't see Kane anywhere either. I wonder where they've gotten to. Oh, I hope they were so fascinated with the Krebs that they got caught in the underflow. I'll help you look for them. I'm worried about Kane, too. That would be great. Thank you, Juliet.
I'll come along, too. It'll be safer that way.
It's okay, Daddy. We're not gonna go that far. We can always call for help if something happens. You stay here. Keep an eye on everyone else.
All right. So...
I finally have you all to myself.
Okay. Hang on, I need a drink here.
Oh, don't worry about that. Nobody's watching, and it's not like I'm gonna cook you up and eat you. I've been wondering ever since you came along with us, what exactly are you to Juliet?
Oh, that's a bold-faced lie ourselves!
Still singing that song, are you? There's no need to try and hide your true feelings now. Even if Morris does show up again, I'm pretty sure their engagement is off the table. Honestly, they're just all so stubborn, especially Juliet. For all the fuss she made about saying she would marry him because she's the eldest, I don't think she's ever actually meant it. Still, that's what makes Juliet so special. She's earnest, responsible, and sensitive all at once. That's why I want her to be happy. As long as she truly loves her partner, it doesn't really matter what sort of family they're from or what their gender is. But if you're interested, I'd be happy to entertain you myself.
Okay. I can see what you mean by understanding the relationships correctly. Oh, this is confusing, isn't it? Scream! Juliet and Dorothy. Oh no.
Just as things were getting heating up. Juliet always did have impeccably bad timing. Alright, go on then. You should at least get there first and show her what you're made of, right? So... there's a dead body over there. Those clothes, I think it's... Why'd you guys scream like that? Did something happen? Where were you, Laura? You had me so worried.
Did you find a big crab or something? Did you? Okay, that's far enough. Trust me, you don't want to get close. Between the blonde hair and the outfit, I'd lay odds that's Morris' body. Okay, so... we found Morris. So that means Sheringham, Morris, and Chris. All dead. Oh boy. The Goldie family is just getting knocked off left, right, and center. And Dorothy lied about her and Lori's whereabouts. Dang it! Hang on. Second time this has happened. Caught it quickly this time at the very least. This is gonna take a moment to reconfigure sizing here. There we go. And that should be fine. Am I right? That's good enough. All kinds of stuff drifts in once the ocean curds from around here. From the look of it, he must have been floating out at sea for a while. I couldn't stop you ladies from getting a peek, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna let anyone else see this. Yeah, I need to make sure it's actually him, though. Look, I didn't want to have to say this, but when the fish come across a dead body, wouldn't you think they start eating it? I'll give you a hint. The parts that are the softest and easiest to bite off. I don't know where. The eyes and the lips. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Actually, wouldn't the ears be the easiest to bite off, you know? Ears and nose? Eyes are kind of big. I guess fish do have big mouths, don't they? Without those, it's pretty much impossible to identify the victim. Still want to take a look for yourself? No, that's okay. I'll take your word for it. Morris? I mean, I've seen worse, I'm sure. I've held people as they died. I'm sure I can look at somebody who's no eyes or face, for that matter. I'm sorry to ask, but would you all mind going back to the mansion together? Would you also wake Dr. Hawthorne up and send him over here? Of course. Come on, Soul. Alright, so I'm definitely mistrustful of both Dorothy and Lori at this point. Those two have definitely jumped up to the top of the list of suspects, because Dorothy does gain a lot if both Morris and Chris are dead. I believe the cause of death was drowning, but the body also has some rather ugly bruises. My guess is that he was actually pushed into the ocean from somewhere up high up. Is there anyone on this island that might have been done? There's a cliff on the northern edge of the island. If that's where he was pushed, it'd likely explain how he washed up with the tide. Given the body's hair color, build, and other physical features, it is indeed most likely Morse. But with so little of his face to confirm identity, I can't be certain. Nose has hard cartilage and bone underneath. Fishies and other corpses tend to eat the eyes and least fats first. Okay. I'm clearly not as good at knowing how fish consume dead bodies as other people are. I suppose Scooby-Doo never did deal with the dead, did they? Except for that one episode where they crossed over with Supernatural, but that was a weird episode. That was a really weird Scooby-Doo episode, really. Don't know where it falls in the canonicity of everything. That means Morris could have gotten some other dead body and done it up to look like himself. So then we should still be on our guard. That's enough. Honey? Morris had no idea we were coming here, though. But besides, where could he possibly gotten on to look like a corpse anyways? Last shred of hope I was clinging to is gone. My son, Morris Goldie, is dead. With Chris gone as well, the only one left to succeed me is Lori. Adamska, I've talked over with my wife. What do you say we have an engagement between Lori and your Kane? Engagement? Are you serious? I was hoping you'd say that, Aaron. That sounded like an excellent idea to me. Slow down, Lori's still just a child, and there's no way Kane can take over for the family. Don't be so old-fashioned. We wouldn't have them get married right this instant. The important thing is that we promise to have them marry in the future. You're the Violet family's eldest daughter. You should know as well as any of us what will happen if our alliance falls through. Not to mention that if all we bring back is the news that Morris died, then there will be rumors of the Violet family assassinated him, leading to an all-out war. This is the only option we have to avoid such a catastrophe. I guess, but... What about the children? Did they get a say in this? I don't mind marrying Kane. You say that now, but you're still so little. We can reconsider what we're about to do once Lori comes of age. I'm fine with that. I don't really get what's going on, but I'm fine with that. I'm glad to see you understand. If only you had a better head on your shoulders. Alright then, we'll say that Morris died in an unfortunate accident. Please, don't let my son's death be in vain. Speaking only for myself, I don't want to see Chris's death be for nothing either. As long as we all agree to keep the truth secret, I'm willing to go with this version of events. That is settled. Indeed, yesterday's bitter enemy is today's dependable friend. I'm glad to count on you amongst mine. Okay. Okay, so... Is this a play by Dorothy? Dorothy, Lori, and Kane. This could be a play by them to take control of everything. I don't know. I really don't know now. I'm honestly at a loss right now. I'm gonna have to keep going and see if anything new comes to mind.
I couldn't even taste it. I'm not sick or anything, I just...
Ah, it's you two. Excellent timing. I was just searching for a fresh bottle to uncork. Care to join?
You're completely smashed already. Aren't you ashamed of yourself?
You guys seem drunk to you? I'm actually a bit of a loss, because I can't seem to get drunk. Oh, by the way, I haven't taken you to bed before, have I?
Okay.
Oh, you're just as gross as Morse was.
My apologies. I've been with so many women, it's impossible to keep track of them all. I must have confused you with one of my myriad of one-night stands. I was born with a condition which makes it difficult for me to have children, you see. That gave me an excuse to spread my seed quite a bit when I was a young man.
If all you want to do is brag about your conquest, I'll be leaving.
Well, yes, sorry about that, but I did settle down after Lori was born. I came to understand how reprehensible my behavior was.
And if you feel bad about it now, that certainly doesn't change what you did.
Yes, you're right. Perhaps losing both Morris and Chris in quick succession is punishment for what I deserve.
I didn't mean it that way.
Thank you, Juliet. I no longer feel like drinking. I think I'll just go lie down and turn in for the night.
I feel like he is going to get... I feel like Adam is going to be the next victim. Or Aaron is going to be the next victim. I totally think he is the next one that's going to be dead. Coffee, drink while... Making chocolate coffee while drinking... While listening / watching the stream. Yeah, isn't that just Mocha Infinity?
While we get some night air.
Okay. Beautiful full moon. I just got a twinge of unease. Something's gonna happen to us, isn't it? I just got this weird twinge of unease down my back.
Yeah, it's so bright it's almost dazzling.
Oh, wow. This is an interesting... Huh. I like this. I like this little scene here. This is a nice little picturesque thing.
You know, Soul, I'm really glad you're here with me.
Even though I haven't been able to do anything for you?
It's not about that, that's just hindsight. I've been so anxious ever since this arranged marriage came up, but too scared to do anything about it. But having you here and seeing you get sad or angry on my behalf has made me feel so much better. Besides, you stayed with me after all my other friends left. That meant so much to me. Even if I had ended up married to Morris, I think I could have handled it, just knowing that you were there for me. The engagement may be over now, but I'm still so grateful for you, for everything. Thank you, Soul. Hey, can I tell you something else?
And here's the confession. I still have that feeling of unease, though. Oh no. Really? Right when she's about to pour her heart out.
Huh? What's wrong? Soul?
We must have gotten concussed real damn good to keep falling asleep like this.
Oh, good. It seems you're still alive. So what happened this time?
Yeah, a lot happened.
I see. So you conked out just when you and Juliet were having a moment. Of course, it also sounds like you and Eva were rather having a moment of yourself before circumstances intervened, eh?
Romantic moments on the beach? Or was that your way of getting ready for Summer Senpai?
No, this was nothing like that. Remember, this is not Mr. Soul's story.
Oh, right.
At any rate, it seems these latest developments played out how we expected. I concur, although a full moon,
Huh? Why is that interesting?
I'm afraid I will have to wait, Miss Carolite. First I need to ask Mr. Soul something. Did you notice or feel anything odd before you passed out?
I definitely have... I myself have a feeling of unease here. I didn't cough up blood or anything like that.
I see. It was most likely a sleeping pill or paralyzing agent then, not a lethal poison.
Oh my. Okay. So my feeling of unease was legit. My feeling of unease about the situation was legit. I just didn't know what the unease was about.
I see. It was most likely a sleeping pill or a paralyzing agent, then, not a lethal poison. I believe we can rule out Juliet as a suspect in this case. She would have no need to feign concern about you while you two are alone, after all.
Yeah. I've definitely... Mentally, I've long since eliminated Juliet as well.
Quite the opposite, in fact. That would be the time for her to show her true colors. I'll be no heart man. Surely we can take Juliet's feelings at face value. I only mean that I would not consider someone's sex as a determining factor in whether they can be trusted. I must say, though, I never thought to see the day when a criminal extols the virtue of trust.
I still don't understand why Senpai was targeted. Was it also just a spur-of-the-moment decision?
I expect it as a natural consequence of the investigation. Two families may have finished their alliance by betrothing their children, but the killer's identity remains a mystery to create tensions. More so importantly, the killer will not want to live in a constant fear of discovery, so a scapegoat would solve both of those issues nicely. As an outsider, Soul is the obvious choice. In which case, the killer may mean to kill Soul and frame him for their own crimes.
Professor, how could you even say that? That's horrible.
Please don't be angry with me. I'm merely offering a possibility. I'm inclined to agree with the professor in this instance. If there's a consolation to be had, it's that our culprit won't be attempting anything sufficiently violent, as it might easily be seen as foul play. They would need to falsify a note to make his murder appear to be a suicide, or the whole endeavor would be quite pointless. For example, they could strangle him to death, and then cover it up by making it seem as though he hanged himself, but that an autopsy would spoil a bit of trickery. Then again, if the culprit were the one performing the autopsy, such a cover-up would be easy. Don't you agree, Professor? You do understand that Dr. Hawthorne and I are quite separate people, yes? Having said that, I hope you'll not hold it against me if he does turn out to be the killer.
I don't think Hawthorne is the killer, though. Eva's a wild card.
Senpai?
Well, now it seems he's finally reached the point where he simply falls asleep without any premonitory signs whatsoever. Of course, if Soul is still falling asleep, that must mean the person he's habiting is still alive. At least we can be happy about that. Wouldn't you agree, Detective?
Are you awake now? Thank goodness, I was just about to go get Dr. Hawthorne.
Did you carry me back here all by yourself? It's impressive.
Uh-huh. I am completely exhausted. I don't even know how I did it. I bet I'm gonna be real sore tomorrow. I thought about leaving you on the beach for call for help, but I couldn't leave you out there at the mercy of the wolves or the killer.
Yeah, we'd better get to sleep.
I guess so. Then, would you walk me to my room?
Yes, this is probably for the safest scenario.
I still have no idea about what's really going on in this case. But as Senpai support team, we need to figure out some way to help him crack it.
My apologies, but there is something I need to take care of immediately. To hold down the fort while I'm gone, will you?
Huh? Holmes?
I fear I truly don't have time to explain right now. Feel free to direct any questions to the professor. The full moon, eh? Quite so, Professor.
Full moon.
Alright, tell me, Professor, what was Holmes talking about?
Hang on, I need to check something here. Full moon tides. The highest tides occur when the moon is full or new. High tides sometimes occur either before or after the moon is straight ahead. Sometimes really low tides are called neap tides. Okay. So, tides are high at the full moon. Hang on. High tide. This might get me put on a list, but are bodies likely to turn up on high tide? Dead bodies. I don't know, that's where my mind is going at the mention of the full moon. Is that it might be high tide or something. I don't know.
I must admit, solving plots is not really my forte. I'm more of a business creating them. And my own strong preferences make me disinclined to explain what that crackpot might be thinking. But for your young mash, I suppose an exception can be made. Holmes and I are both working on the same information at this time, so all we needed to do, in this case, was fit the pieces of the puzzle together. We would naturally both arrive at the same conclusion, unless you were delirious with fever or the like.
Then you know where Holmes went, Professor. You both mentioned the full moon. He's not planning to go there, is he?
No, Mash, don't be silly, though I imagine Holmes might find the notion amusing. I'll explain about the moon in due time. Unfortunately, Sol was on the wake for a short while this time, so we were unable to warn him.
It's true, then there's something that I wanted somebody to look at as well.
Oh, what might that be?
Well, nobody's come out and said it, but... It sounded to me like Anne might be Chris's mother.
Yes, that certainly seems likely. One could tell as much from their behavior.
It's not worth thinking about the full moon bit right now. This will be fully explained before I can vote. Okay, I still feel like I might be on a watch list because I did already look up as to what happens to bodies when the moon is full with regards to the tide. But I'm not really near any oceans or anything, so maybe I won't be on any lists.
I imagine Aaron must have entrusted Chris to his mother after refusing to take him in himself.
I did think that as well, and being Chris's mother.
So then Anne lost her son, too. We have to solve this case quickly before anyone else dies. Is there anything else, Professor?
There is indeed Chris's dying message, though there may not be much point in bringing it up now. At any rate, assuming this message was indeed meant to point to the killer, we can assume he was simply by the killer's name. A defining attribute of a killer would be more than suffice. Personally, I believe he meant to write moon. Or write mom.
Mom, but that would point to the culprit.
It may not be a complete message, but it's also only 3 letters, making it much easier than writing out a full name. Though it's unfortunate Chris has evidently failed to finish the writing, given the false impression that it was actually more.
Mom, huh? The mother. Dorothy.
Mom, wait a moment. If Chris was talking about his own mom, does that mean Anne is out to kill Senpai right now?
I don't think so. I think Dorothy. Or Eva?
Well, good night, Sol.
Excuse me, Sol. Could I have a word with you? What's this about?
Don't worry. This will only take a moment.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Section 7. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Things are heating up. I definitely have that feeling of unease, right? Where's it gonna go from here, though? I can't see Anne killing Chris, though, is the thing. And we're not dead. Good, you're awake. I apologize for getting a bit rough with you earlier. Yeah, what's going on? We found some strange powder on the table as he was cleaning up last night. I figured someone had attempted a poisoning, but we needed to find the victim before we went searching for the poisoner. Sis and I split up to see how everyone was doing. She found you looking sick. We need you to throw up as quickly as possible, so I said I'm afraid I had to get a bit rough. Ah! Punch us in the stomach, make us sick. Sis has been watching over you ever since she carried you in here. I already cleaned up the mess you made when you threw it up. It doesn't look like there's any after effects, so I might have just been sleeping pill. But even a sleeping pill can be dangerous. If you'd been taking a bath when it kicked in, you'd be dead. We were subject to a sleeping pill. I'll be morning soon, and our ride is coming around noon. If we don't hold out until then, we should all be able to go home safely. So we're gonna safely stay up and keep an eye on things. If you need help, just holler and come running. Okay. So it's not Anne, then. It's not Anne, it's not Wu. It's not Juliet. It's not Adamska or Aaron. So that leaves Kane, Laurie, and Dorothy are the biggest suspects right now to me. Dorothy on the highest on that list.
Oh, good morning. You look awful. Did you sleep well enough last night?
I woke up fairly early, actually.
Well, at least you look better now than you did when you said goodnight.
Hey, she just gave us a gut punch to make us get sick, you know?
Oh, by the way, don't you dare tell anyone else about last night.
You want to be our little secret, then?
Look, just forget it ever happened, okay? Now, come on, let's go. I think it'd be safer if we all stayed together anyways.
That scared the hell out of you? Yeah. I will admit, if I wasn't doing this in quick succession, I would definitely be concerned about that as well.
Morning, Soul. Oh, you too, Mr. Liet.
You look tired, Wu. Why don't you get some rest?
Thanks, but don't worry about me. I can stay up for about 3 days straight if I feel like it. Hey, Infinity, we found your spirit servant person thing. Your doppelganger, or what is it called? What's the term for somebody that is your twin that you've never met? I can't remember. Well, you found yours. He can stay up for 3 days straight if he feels like it, just like you. Though I'll admit I'm feeling sleepier now that you're all here. It's a lot easier keeping an eye on everyone when they're all in one place.
The doorbell? But we're all here, aren't we?
Is that alright? Definitely not. My people would never ignore my orders.
No one's coming in. Is this a prank?
Doppelganger, that's it. Well, someone's out there, though the only one I can think of who might pull this kind of thing is that detective. Wait here, I'll be right back. I'm back, and I've got bad news. I hate to tell you this now, but Sheringham's body is missing. What did you say?
You're kidding. Since when?
I didn't notice sooner because it was wrapped up in sheets, but when I looked turned out to be a bunch of logs. I don't know when the body was swept out, but there's no shortage of wood outside they could have used. You didn't do anything wrong, Will. I wouldn't have thought to keep an eye on dead bodies either. I might be right here. Sheringham might have faked his own death. What's the meaning of this, An? Are you saying that Sheringham is the one behind all this?
I've heard stories of dead people coming back to life, but wait, hang on. I just had a crazy thought.
Mr. Adamska, yesterday you suggested the killer could have swapped in a body to make us think Morse was dead when he wasn't, right? That's right, but we dismissed it because we figured the killer had no way of getting a substitute body.
That's right, but then what if the killer did have a body on hand that they could swap it in?
If Morris took Sheringham's body from the basement, dyed his hair blonde, and then left the fish to do the rest.
Could anyone really do something so terrible?
Even if this means Morris is still alive, I can't be particularly happy about this, considering it means my son has started down a truly monstrous path.
It's too soon to jump to conclusions. Sheringham himself could be the killer for all we know. Whoever it is, we need to find them and make sure and pay. Let's let over and search outside. Are you trying to put our guests' lives in danger, Wu? Our raid will be here at noon. What we need to do is wait for them to arrive.
Come on, sis. You know what? You know as well as I do that we can't let the killer stay here and get away with this. I admit I don't like the idea of letting these events stay a mystery either. I'd also like to know the truth if possible.
Alright then, let's use these last few hours we have here to find the killer. That said, we can't bring the women and the children along with us. In that case, I'll stay behind in case the killer comes back and tries to take hostages.
Oh, I want to go on a manhunt too.
Okay, no, you can't. Come on, so back me up on this.
This is a bad idea.
Oh, you're so soft on him. But I guess that's also what's so great about you. Alright then, I'll keep them both safe myself.
Then it's settled. Come on, we don't have any time to waste.
Be careful, Soul.
Oh, bad feelings abound. Alright, we'll look over here. Thank goodness, there's a hunting rifle around. Oh my, I'm afraid it'll be more than a security blanket. If you find Morris, would you mind sparing his life? I at least want to ask why he did all this.
Alright, you guys be careful out there. Okay, we're going to check out that area. The docs took the only hunting rifle we got, but we don't need a gun with me around.
Oh, do you know Kung Fu? Jet Kundo? Wing Chun? I want to see.
I'm afraid the only moves I know are lethal attacks. Trust me, they're not very entertaining to watch.
Gotcha!
Oh man, it's those wolves again. Sorry, Soul, but I'm gonna need a little time to drive them off. Can you take the kid and hide somewhere? I don't want you to getting hurt by mistake.
I'll hide!
Oh, this is bad.
There we go, it should be safe over here.
He's one of the prime suspects. I'm not safe at all. I hope he's okay by himself.
No, I agree. Whatever happens now, everyone will just write it off as unfortunate accident.
Oh, God, no.
I've been putting on an act up until now. This is the real me. Not even Father knows about me. So any last words before I kill you? Dying out here on a remote island all alone? Honestly, I almost feel sorry for you.
I was right! He faked his death! Yes!
Well, then now seems an opportune time to make my entrance. I cannot certainly not allow this to continue.
I was right, I was right, I was right. Holmes faked his death. Sheringham faked his death.
I'm brilliant.
Brilliant!
MP Seal, gain crit stars. Crit star generate debuff immunity. Boy. Q be at Q. Noble Phantasm matters not here. Crit stars would be the more important thing. And then crit star gain. And crit star buster gather. Sherlock Kung Fu his ass. Yes. Go, Sherlock, go. So, BAA, you think is a... Oh, it's a 3-turn combo. Okay, I get you now. I get you now. So if I had done Buster Arts, I would have done it in 3 turns. I get you. Good to know. Good to know. I'd probably do that proceeding. Not from here on. I was mainly more thinking of possible crits than consistency, I suppose. I might have still 3-turned it. Yes! Still 3 turns. Thank you, Sheringham! Okay. So Kane might... While Kane is attacking us, he might not be the true culprit behind all this. Just saying. Oh wow, that was the whole part 7. Okay, so the detective is bound to detail any clues. After this, it's gonna be vote time. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Although I will look back and see if I can't draw any more conclusions from everything. Because I don't know why Kane is attacking us. I mean, there was the whole frame it the murder as us, but... Ugh. Good grief, you've been quite the rascal. Good day, Mr. Soul. I trust you are uninjured. Holmes, is that you? I could not have hoped for a better reaction, though you still pale in comparison to Watson. Holmes himself got here? I'm sorry, what? This is actually Holmes? What? What? Now, much as I would like to answer the question so obviously nagging at you, it's hard to determine where to even begin. Perhaps I should start with how I came to be here. Yes, please. Ever since this mystery began, I've been wondering how much of a time differential there was between your dream and the reality. I further thought that depending on what that differential turned out to be, I might be able to intervene directly. The full moon! Time! That's how he figured that out. Okay. Your walk on the beach with Juliet during the full moon provided a significant hint. Indeed, it was elementary to connect the dots even for someone as ignorant of astronomy as myself. At Chaldea, you collapsed while looking at the moon on May 14th, 2019. You woke up for the 5th time, May 15th, Chaldea time, and the moon still was not yet full. This led me to realize that your dream was actually taking place a few days in the future. Once I knew that, I decided to intervene directly, and now here we are. This is all happening in the future, then. I'm afraid we don't yet know how it works, but yes, that isn't an escapable conclusion. Regardless, what is important is not how it's happening, but when. If you don't believe me, go ahead and look up the lunar calendar for yourself. You see the full moon in May 2019 falls on the 18th here. Count backwards from that, and we can determine that Kane accidentally hit you with his ball in the afternoon on May 16th, Kogetsukan time, marking the point where your dream began. You did, indeed. Phoenix, you did indeed. Since the 15th May at Chaldea, when I arrived at the conclusion, I had a day to plan. So it was Sheringham. So he was Sheringham the whole time. Okay, so Sheringham doesn't actually exist. It was always Holmes. Holmes faked his death, so he knew who he had tea with. Interesting. I was thinking how I should go about intervening when I had a flash of insight. Well, it's possible that the Sheringham you saw was a completely different person and your brain merely happened to assign him in my appearance. Given that we are both detectives, it was also possible that he could have been me merely claiming to be Sheringham. Until after the VOD rerun and not before it coincided with the IRL lunar calendar. Oh, that's clever. That is very clever of them to do. So, if I was so, I could certainly bring the latter circumstance about, thereby directly intervening as the one of the key figures. Big brain NA indeed. Hawthorne is not Moriarty, which you can tell because he was the Violet Phoenix physician for years. Yes, but Sheringham could have been Holmes because he found this place. And if this takes place in the future, he had time to track it down and find his way there. The Goalies did hire a detective. They didn't say who they hired, though. And it's not really reckless of him to do, because, I mean, he's a servant. A normal human can't kill him. I'm sorry you feel that way. So long as there's a path to solving this case, then by definition, whatever steps I take along it are the right ones. Granted, I will concede that making my way here was fairly complicated. I first contacted the Goalie family as Sheringham, using my knowledge of threatening letter to capture Aaron's attention. Though, of course, he was rightfully suspicious of me, so he said he would only hire me if I managed to track down where they were staying on my own. From there, it was simply a matter of filling in the blanks, rather like a crossword puzzle. Given the travel time from the United States and the fact that it was warm enough to go swimming even in the middle of May, I was almost immediately able to determine that you were somewhere in the Caribbean. Finding the Kogetsukan seemed trickier, but then I remembered that Kogetsu is an old Japanese word for crescent moon. Using a map, I was able to pinpoint an island that was shaped like a crescent moon. The rest, you know. I was all quite easy, really. The only difficult part was convincing Da Vinci to let me come here, since doing so required me to reshift. Oh, we reshifted here. In the end, I needed to make a temporary contract with a staff member located in the US before I think I got it. Thanks. I'm not going to mention the dead. I take it you are the sort of reader who prefers to skip to the ending. I suppose time is of the essence, so I'll indulge you and provide you with the abridged version. Hey, welcome Red Velvet, welcome back. But if you don't mind, I'll save the explanation for how I came back to life until everyone is here. So, I was right about Holmes faking his death. I was right about that. Huzzah for me! Well, it seems the rascal is awake. Let's see what he has to say for himself, shall we? The detective, how are you still alive? So, why were you playing dumb, Kane? Pretty much, yeah. In the Violet family, the eldest son is supposed to take over when he comes of age, but I really didn't want to get involved in that world. So I decided to act like a weird little kid who couldn't possibly lead the family. I feel really bad for making family worry about me, but it's better than getting murdered because of some stupid grudge or something. Understand your concerns, Kane. Between turf wars, coups, betrayals, and simple pleasure killings, there are a great many ways that to be murdered in the underworld. Such a life is not an easy one. But then why did you abandon your pretenses and show your true colors all of a sudden? Because I thought Juliet's friend here was the killer. I couldn't think of anyone else who it could be. I thought they did it to save Juliet, and I actually appreciate that much at least. I couldn't stand that Morris guy either. But killing Chris just seemed wrong. The only reason I could think for them to do that is to keep Juliet for themselves, not to help her. Besides, if they were willing to kill those guys, then they might also be willing to kill other people in my family. That's why I had to do something. I thought if I threatened them, I could get them to fess up. Relax, Kane. I assure you that soul would never kill anyone. Yeah, you know, I'd just commit genocide on an entire peoples. Then who could be the killer? Nobody else could have done it. On the contrary, this is a perfect closed circle of suspects. The killer's indeed been amongst us from the very beginning. Now, Kane, I have a question for you. How do I know you are innocent? I don't know when Morris died, so I can't say anything about that. But I might have an alibi for when Chris died. Does that mean you can't prove where you were at 11:25 last night? I was playing hide-and-seek with Laura in an empty room. I think we got found about 5 minutes before that. Is there a grown-up who can vouch for that? Yeah, there is. Just what I wanted to hear. Dorothy. I already have a good idea as to the identity. I'll have Kane testify about it when the time is right. You're not going to tell the others about my act, are you? No, I won't. You should decide for yourself when you are ready to drop it. Now then, Mr. Soul, let us return to the Kogetsukan. Oh yes, a splendid overreaction. Still not quite as good as Watson's, though. What is it? What are you doing here? No, I can't believe you're actually alive. Good, you're all here. Now I can finally explain what actually happened that first night. But how? You didn't have a pulse. Oh, that's a trivial matter. One need merely clench the ball under one's armpit, cut off circulation to that arm temporarily halt one's pulse. Okay, I suppose that's one way to do it.
It's an old trick now, but it once was a respectable medical technique known as the pressure-based hemostasis.
Okay, good to know. That is actually good information to know. Ball under one's arm to cut off the pulse. Good to know, Holmes. Thanks for that information.
Of course, the arm can become necrotic if one keeps it up for too long, but momentary use of the technique to a layman such as yourself would not have been cause for concern.
Hang on, perhaps enough to fool us, but Dr. Hawthorne's a professional. How could you possibly fool him?
Simple, I couldn't, so I didn't.
Then you mean?
Yes, I'm afraid I was in on the whole time.
I was right about that too! Yes! Oh, I was right. Hawthorne and Holmes were in on it. Yes, I knew my deductions weren't all completely off base. I'm smart.
Why would you do something like that?
Dr. Hawthorne is, of course, the only medical professional on the premises. It was inevitable that he would be asked to perform an autopsy in the event of someone turned up dead. So I made a deal with him on the first day. I promised that in that exchange for his help in faking my death, I would solve the case. After all, once the culprit thought I was out of the picture, they would be blind to my investigation.
I was right about that as well. I got them smarts.
It makes it sound like you knew there was going to be a murder case here. Let us simply say I knew from this trip could not possibly have a peaceful end. You can't be serious, Doc. What are you thinking, trusting a shifty detective like this? If he really is a great detective, then I should have been able to prevent the murder before it happened. I'm quite good at solving mysteries once they present themselves, but I'm afraid that even I cannot solve what has yet to occur. Whoever contended that murders are creative and detectives merely critics was, I'm afraid, spot on. I doubt it would go over well if I told them I couldn't do anything that would have changed Soul's dream. That was the only thing I could say, never mind that I'm at heart a creative critic.
I mean, given that he knew that Chris died, he could have prevented Chris's death. He really, really could have prevented it and solved everything early.
Alright, you might know what you're doing when it comes to detective stuff, but I still don't like you. But that as it may, I assure you that Hawthorne would not have helped me unless he too had a sense that there was something dangerous here.
Doctor, don't tell me you...
Don't say a word, Harriet. Reprimand him if you must, but I'm also responsible for him being here. Please, at least hear what he has to say. I appreciate that, Dr. Hawthorne. I especially like that you're much more kindly in person. At any rate, it's already noon, so I'm afraid we need to come to a resolution quickly if we're to do so before our ride arrives here. Resolution? Does that mean you already know who did it? Of course, I've completed my deductions, and I am prepared to present my findings. Before I get to that, there's one thing I'd like to confirm. Would you all come with me, please?
Okay.
Chris's room. What business could you possibly have here? Simple, assessing his dying message. Given everything I have heard about him, Chris clearly possesses strong will. He was the sort of man who would carry out an important job even at the cost of his own life. Hearing that from you somewhat pisses me off, but you're still right. Both Sis and I knew how seriously he took his responsibilities. In my estimation, Chris believed he had completed his dying message by the time he passed, but was unaware that he had not drawn enough blood to finish it. But with his liminal power, we can see exactly what he's trying to write down.
Well, Mar just changed into Mom.
As I thought, Chris did indeed try to write Mom. That's what he wanted you all to see before I shared my conclusions.
Mom as in mother.
Quite right, and now I will tell you why. The question is, which of the mothers here did Chris mean to accuse? Ooh. Right, then, we have all the pieces of the puzzle now. Perhaps you have begun to see the picture taking shape for yourselves now. I'll kill out a single specific reason for killing Chris and Morse. Once you understand the motive, the killer's identity should become quite clear as well. But even if you fail to recognize the motive, the killer's identity should still be clear. Allow me to offer a special hint to those of you reading this right now. Think back to each person's alibis during the time of Chris's murder. If you eliminate everyone who couldn't possibly have been at the scene at the time of the crime, you might find it easier to deduce the culprit's identity than you think. I assure you there will be no new information in this case of the murder at the Kogetsukan, so it may take some time to consider the evidence. But do keep one point in mind while you deliberate. There's been a peculiar phenomenon at work here from the beginning, distorting your perceptions.
Right. Who we see is not actually who's there. We're placing servants' faces over the faces of the actual people. That's what the phenomena is. That was addressed when we first woke up from this dream. So, it's a mother. It is one of the mothers. That leaves us with Anne, Eva and Dorothy. Anne and Eva, or Anne at the very least, was with the poker game. I would have to check to make sure Eva was there as well. I'm pretty sure that Eva was at that as well. Anne was at the poker game. So Anne was at the poker game. I'm pretty sure that Eva was mentioned to be at the poker game as well. Dorothy was with the kids. But that's the thing. Dorothy lied when we asked her where she was. She said that she fell asleep at around 10 and then did not wake up until morning. But we, out of character, know that Lori woke up and was playing hide and seek with Kane, and that Dorothy was the one that found them. Read the scene with Miss Violet. I think it's scene number 5. Okay. Material, event records, murder at the Kogetsukan. No strange foreigners must figure in the story. It's scene 5? Okay. So I'll go through this again. Because I need to find out what her alibi was in all this as well. I don't remember if she mentioned it or what she mentioned. Deer has already voted. Well, I would like to hear your guys' votes as well when I've made my vote. Thank goodness you're still alright. Okay, come on. And engagement, don't think there's anything else to worry about though. Feelings in your voices, following victims out of power. There's that, that's why Morris is going along with it. You don't think there will be more murders? Don't think so anyway, what's the point? Can't just go easy. You should talk to Chris too, just be sure. Give me a moment to freshen up. Morning, why are you too off early? If you're at breakfast, I'm afraid this isn't it. I'm checking on Chris. What a lucky guy. I wish I had a beautiful girl like you to wake me up. Nice work sometimes. What he's waking up to. Could help with chores. Okay, so this is all not necessary stuff. Door's unlocked. He was meaning to write Mom. We know that now. Cold around midnight. We know it's at 11:25 based on the watch. Red spot, so a needle. So 2 needles. Why does he have a 3rd wound? Yes. Connected that. Look at the tip of the index finger. Blood for himself. Says more. It actually says Mom. Chris can hold his own in a fight. Shook the killer's hand. Yep, come on. We know it's not Chris. We know it's not Juliet. We know it's not the doctor. Yeah, if you can do that, what else can't you do? Oh my. Wouldn't actually do that. Left the assassination. Didn't kill Chris. I believe you. Thank you. Take a look at this. Pocket watch. Broke it at 11:25. That's when he likely died. That's when he met with the killer. Find out the alibi. Okay, wait, there it was. Playing poker with Aaron, Adamska, and Anne last night. Started at 10 o'clock, didn't stop until 3 in the morning, took a few short breaks, but nobody left the room for long. So that's all of their alibis handled. Alibi for me, I was passed out snoring. Juliet and Harriet were in a room together. And we know Juliet's not the killer. Chit chat. Need to go now? Alright, that's fine, Infinity. And once again, happy birthday, man. I hope you have a good one. No need to apologize, man. No need to apologize. You know, poor Chris. Where's Anne? I don't see her anywhere. Carrying Chris to the basement. Chris really is dead, and just no name successor is terrible timing. I think I'm the one who killed him. Well, I didn't. I was putting Lori to bed. You have to believe me. Please calm down, Miss Dorothy. Turns out Chris managed to write more before he died. Finish message. His name starts with Mom, isn't there? More, you don't need Morris. See, I don't begin anyone else. Starring Morris to kill Chris. I'm just saying it's a possibility he might be still hiding. Ha ha ha. He's gone. He's broken a little bit. Honey, taking pretty hard. Solo, please don't die. Okay, I'll try not to die. Hello? Yeah, why are you dressed like that? Just wanted to go for a little swim since we all came all this way to listen for a resort and all. That will approve though, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Anything unusual happen around Miss Violet? Miss Violet? That's a strange question. No, Mother turned in early last night. I think it must have been around 10, maybe 11. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact time. Just had a lovely idea we call swim. We could keep an eye. I need to check something. Return to materials. I need to check something. Where's... I think 6? Hang on, I want to check something here. I need to check something. Yep, the beach. How to get here. I don't want to skip too fast through this real quick. Everyone is out here to relax. I'm looking for before... Okay, wait, there... Hang on. No, give me the log. Give me the log here. Log. Could still probably hide a tiny poison-tipped needle. Okay. Okay, that's giving me some indication here. Come on and join us. The water is great. Is that so? Looks like you're embarrassed to wear a swimsuit. Don't worry, safe if your family's here. It's true. You and your sister are a lot alike. Actually fraternal. Takes after mother. Both free-spirited. Leave it at that. Going for a swim. It's okay. Gonna play with Kane. Be careful. I didn't ask about the alibi. What were you doing last night? Put Lori to bed around 10. Fell asleep shortly. Didn't wake up until morning. Didn't fall asleep before she asked me. Got it. Thank you. Welcome. Lovely day. Good mood. Yes, because new things have been concluded. Come on, give me a bit more. Did I scare you? Just start me with something I can do for you. See, Lori wasn't looking for the fascinating those crabs. That'd be great. Thank you, Juliet. Come along to be safer. Okay, and then finally have you all to myself. Adamska's over there. Don't worry, nobody's watching. It's not like I'm gonna cook you up and eat you. What exactly are you to Juliet? We're just friends. Singing the song, are you? There's no need to hide your true feelings now. Even if more sisters don't, I'm pretty sure the engagement's off the table. Still so stubborn, especially Juliet. Juliet's earnest. Doesn't matter. Happy to entertain you myself. So she gets close to us. It really is a third-person reference. Okay. And then there's one other thing I want to check. It was before Chris died. Okay. So, I can't remember which part it's in, but I remember Eva asked Chris to come to her room for some reason. I don't remember the exact reason why that was. But Eva did try to get Chris alone. And we know that paralyzing seems to be the way things goes. Because Holmes was paralyzed. Holmes was paralyzed and then killed. Pinprick. A small pinprick that even just a passing touch could get. While Dorothy did sneak up on us, Eva did get us alone. Eva has been alone with Chris as well. There was powder on our table Eva went to sleep. She has been referring to herself in the third person. She's a mother. She referred to herself as mother. Possibly split personalities. It's a thing. Maybe a little bit out of left field, I suppose. But there's also the don't let appearances deceive you. We know that Dorothy lied to us. She was looking for Kane, or she was looking for Lori, who was playing hide and seek with Kane. However, it didn't take her too long to find Lori. Eva just went to sleep at 10 around 11. She's not entirely sure when. Refers to herself in different tenses and in the third person. At the beach, possibly hit a poison needle. Got us alone. Has been getting Chris alone. I'm missing something massive. Something massive. Something massive. Is it really third-person reference to oneself? That was chapter 5, right? Worried I'll lead myself down a rabbit hole. Come on, let me fast forward. I need to get back to the Reiko part. Come on. Third wound, we bit the finger off. Says more. What can't you do? Give it my best shot. Dorothy was fairly defensive. Hello, Soul. Why are you dressed like that? Just wanted to go for a little swim since we all came this way to this lovely resort and all. I doubt we will approve though, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Miss Violet? Well, that's a strange question. No, Mother turned in early last night. I think it must have been around 10, maybe 11. Sorry, I don't remember the exact time. Just a lovely idea. We could all go for a swim. That way we could keep an eye on us. Just that term right now. Hope you can join us too. Glad we could come to an agreement. Sure you have your reasons. Did she though? Gathering information. Getting sleepy. Stretch out on the sofa. Alright, and then I wanted to see... Not this. Come on. Is it in this one or is it another one? Sleepy again. Oh, I wish it was storming here. It's actually quite hot right now. No. It was in 4, perhaps? Left hand, injury on his right. Can't hold out anymore. I want to get to... Go your wake, shove me, no better than Kane. Person supposed to be service. No, I know who I was meeting with. Could have been Morris. Refuse treatment. See Morris, looking for himself. He did walk off alone. So Morris ended last chapter walking off alone after after he was rejected by Juliet. Scaring the wolves off. Same prodigal son. Come on, fast forward, please. There we go. See nothing with Morris. Anyone found him? Think he had a little too much to drink. Morris is missing. Morris is missing now. I'll be quiet. Let's see, because he probably don't see anything. So I was in the detective guy's room last night. I was up really late when I did. I saw him leaving the detective guy's room. I'm gonna take away the child. Do it yourselves. No proof he killed Sheringham. Seems to let my emotions get the better of me, so you have to see that. Project for lack of tact. Goalie devastating. Can't do that. Alright. Give circumstances, questions that not even Dorothy knows. Grave, no longer option. Chris's father. Huh? Never told you. I was spending night with him and cut my eye. Give the mummy. Give them to the marble company. Sheringham died. Stop Morris. Kristen Prentice. Can't let him go. It's enough. And got terms with the marble company. Servant. Return with applesauce. Nice. Chris schooling family that mean. Juliet looking good. Chris. No way. Should be happy. Yes, Juliet no return. Sounds nice. Servant, you shouldn't worry about if you link. If you're in the Goldie, no Goldie and Violet. Delectable dinner. Dear girl, antacid stomach. Engagement. Marry Chris rather than Morris. Are we serious? Are you happy? What's wrong with you? She's not too happy about this. Go apologize to her. Yes. The whole thing. Sorry, sight. Great husband. Julie knows. Not simple. Heartstrings. Julie and I are just friends. Of course they're not. Come on. I want to get to a scene here. Come on. Forwardy, forward, forward. Guess I might as well lay down. No, he gets matched for climbing around. You don't have to work like grown-ups do. So this is now definitely Kane. Nobody suspects you. Someone's here. There you are. First sneak out of bed. Again, now I find you in this pitch dark room. Looks like she found us, Kane. Yep, guess so. I was so worried when I didn't see you anywhere after I woke up. You have to tell me when you want to play hide and seek. That doesn't make me go to bed too early. I want to stay up and keep playing. It's early, but the game's over. Once you're found, we'll just have to pick this up tomorrow. Thank you, Kane. Morris never plays with you like this. She's so happy to have a new big brother. I'll be great being a big brother, too. Since I've always been on the weirdly grown-up side, I guess. See all that? Alright, it's getting late. Time to go back to bed. Okay. I'm gonna sleep too. Now where's that light switch? Yep, I love being a kid. No one ever suspects a kid. I wish there was time there. Having this time. Okay. New Goldie makes some new targets. Brute force again, so murder. Be at night when one wants the opportunity after all. So I have to let it go after Chris or Juliet. Gotta get back there and stop them. Let's try and bang my head to knock myself unconscious. Tragedy might come, continue to clear mind. No more tragedies at all. Okay, And the last part said... The last part gave Holmes the deduction he needed. Okay, I need to think. Gathering all the evidence we have. Somebody using poison. It's a mom. Not Morris. Somebody would have to gain from... They poisoned us. How? We're not sure. We're not sure how they poisoned us, but they gave us a sleeping pill and found us and saved our lives by punching us in the stomach, making us throw up the vomit. There's white powder on the table. That's right, there was a white powder on our table. That was likely the poison, so a contact poison then. Perhaps. Dorothy and Eva are the likely candidates for this. Eva got us alone. Dorothy snuck up on us. It would have to be long... So, that beach scene... There was no marks on Holmes, so it was poisoning then. So for Holmes, they... No, Holmes was never poisoned. Holmes met with Morris to try and find something out. I don't know why Holmes met with Morris. Why would Holmes meet with Morris? He did not leave until after the full moon scene, so after Morris's body was discovered. Why did Holmes leave then? Why did Holmes meet with Morris? To rule him out as a suspect, perhaps? Yeah. Holmes would meet with Morris to rule him out as a suspect. It was in something we consumed. We had sandwiches on the beach. Yeah, there were sandwiches on the beach. It could be a very long-lasting, it could be a very slow-acting poison. Sandwiches on the beach. I don't remember who made the sandwiches. I'm pretty sure... Wu gave us a sandwich, but then it would be very random. We had dinner too, though, didn't we? But we don't know enough about the dinner itself to know that. Sort of just went off the mom clue. You said it's strange you didn't refer to her as your first name, then says what she thought happened. That was strange. So I went off the mom clue and deducing it myself. Yeah, I'm trying to connect the dots. So I'm trying to find out... They both have clear motives for this whole situation. Dorothy wants her child to be the proper heir to everything. Eva wants what's best for her daughters. But Eva also acknowledges that we have something for Juliet. So would she want to get rid of us and ruin her daughter's happiness? No. Eva wouldn't want to get rid of her daughter's happiness. She seems like, well, a free spirit. She seems like she would want what's best for her daughters. She wouldn't kill us because that would hurt Juliet. Dorothy... Lori keeps sneaking out of bed. Lori keeps sneaking out of bed to play hide and seek with Kane. No idea how long it took, but if they're sleeping right next to one another, then it shouldn't take somebody long to realize that the person you're sleeping with is not there anymore. Nobody has eyes on her when Lori is gone. Holmes was never killed. Holmes faked everything. Lori... Yeah, the implied thing... Yeah. I already kind of addressed that when I thought, when I said that kind of threw my assumption that Juliet and Harriet were switching places consistently when it was revealed they're actually fraternal twins. Dorothy stands to gain the most in this. Her presence cannot be accounted for when... Dorothy's presence cannot be accounted for on the night of Chris's death. Because while she says she was asleep, she lied to us and didn't say that she was looking for Lori. Lori left her for a time being to play hide and seek. Yeah, it was during the, because again, the whole appearance thing. Chris wrote Mom, which narrows it down to what looks like 3 people. Indeed. Indeed. Miss Violet. Family tree isn't necessarily true. Free-spirited like the mother. I need to see that beach scene one more time. The beach scene was 6, I think, yeah? This was the beach scene, yeah? That's fine, Velvet. Send me what your guess was later. Must miss lunch. Get leftover sandwiches. Huge clue in section 5. Good way to stay safe. No one see the rest of my way. Warm weather, weapon, poison tipped needle. Come on, go fast forward, game. Fast forward. Water's great. Juliet. Shut up, leave me alone. Take a nap. Trying to kill us. Whole family's safe. Guess we'll be with your daddy. Okay. You and your sister are a lot alike, huh? Technically twins, but we're fraternal. Takes after mother, both free-spirited. Your serious side for me. Let's leave it at that. Not this. Dorothy asked about her alibi. Good mood. She's a second wife. More said Christmas inherent all of control. Makes sense. Yes, I need a little bit more forwards. Dialogue choice. I want to do a different dialogue choice then. Hang on. Finally have you all myself. Personal space. Maybe. See this. Don't worry about that. Nobody's watching. It's like I'm going to cook you up and eat you. What exactly are you to Juliet? Okay. You need to hide your true feelings. Morse, pretty sure they're engaged on the table. So someone, especially Juliet. Don't think she's ever actually meant it. So let's make Juliet. She's not supposed to once. Want her to be happy. Love her partner. Doesn't matter what sort of family, your form, or what gender that is. But if you're interested, I'd be happy to entertain you myself. Okay, I need to see the introductions. The introductions to everybody. I want to see the introductions one more time before I make a conclusion based on some evidence. Because the introduction could help me eliminate Eva as a suspect, which would only leave Dorothy. I need to see how Eva is introduced. I need to see how that diagram is introduced here. Okay, there's the high school thing. I missed that. Freshman, to be exact. Where are those two? Wait, hang on. Looks like you're alright. Good, you're alright. Hello, Eva. I was so worried after what I did. You guys fine. See, you're here too, Harriet. So you both look especially... Maybe just got a bath. Who are those two again? That's my mom and my little sister. I thought that was obvious. Maybe it's not much of a family resemblance as I thought. Take a bath too. Really spacious. Maybe later. Appearance something. Getting hair, skin, fresh breeze. Not really. I'm going to the beach. Twins with different personalities. Okay, so she does introduce her as mom, but... Daddy. Mother. Daddy. Family resemblance isn't as strong as I thought. Hang on. I want to get back to that diagram real quick. Come on, getting a bit faster. Come on. A little faster. Nothing up top. Oh, that was all in the first part. I want to see the diagram again, real quick. Eva's fine with... Eva's perfectly good with, wait, there was some... Hang on. Play it really well. Sucks fan it. Pay no mind. Children will be children. After all. It's on the voting page? Oh. Well, I'm already almost at the thing, so... I want to keep... I don't want to go to the voting page until I have my absolute conclusion here. I don't want to go to voting page until I have the conclusion that I want to make. Hang on. Caring mother, Eva. 6 members of the Violet family alone. 6 members of Violet family alone. Okay. Here's the diagram. Already got to it. So... Quick try on the relationships. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm drawing some conclusions. I'm not sure if they're the right conclusions. Absolutely, positively, not sure if they're the right conclusions. So, Eva is most certainly the mom of them. She's introduced as mother. That doesn't mean she's the wife to Adamska, though. Because she seems very fine with flirting with Chris and then us. I mean, is she? Yeah, that's the question. Okay, so may want to reread that. Reread the introduction. Yeah, she introduced Harriet and Eva at the same time. Hang on. Okay, come on. Fast forward. Can't fast forward through blinking. Are you okay? Do I know you? Here, my name is Juliet. Juliet Violet. Going to the same college, remember? We eat lunch every couple days. Hang out once a week. You know, friends. Just classy. Come with me. My 4-day family trip, remember? Ringing a bell. Do you even know the date? May 2019. May 2019. Mild amnesia. Hawthorne, the Violet's family doctor. Memories of when it used to be much of my charging. Still going to be okay. Condition doesn't seem serious. Hate just slightly. Long seem to be perfect health, then collapse next day. As a doctor, I'm afraid I can't give him a clean bill of health just yet. Bad, call me at once. Good, you're awake, feeling alright. That you say. I'm gonna hit on the wall in the first place. Yeah, I guess sorry about that. Great, going back to the game. Sorry about my little brother. Think he grew up a little in high school. Probably should have been paying more attention. Anyway, you don't have to feel easy. Seriously hurt you. It was bad enough that I can't keep the wall in your that I tripped you up to, and you ended up tumbling down the nearby stairs like a barrel, remember? Not sure what I would do to him if I were in your shoes. But you just left it off with a joke about him becoming a pro soccer player someday. I couldn't believe it. Then you go on your best qualities, you're gonna find silver lining. What is this place? This is a fancy hotel. Could have been the Kogetsukan. With my family. You're here with my family on our... Look, you're alright. Hello, Eva. I was so worried after what I heard King did. I'm glad to see you seem fine. So you're here too, Harriet. I must say you both look exceptionally beautiful today. Maybe that's because I got out of the bath. Who are those two again? That's my mom and my little sister. Mom and little sister. So... Eva is the mom, then. Twins with such different personalities. Daddy, Adamska, lost valuable necklace. Because that's what... My mom and my little sister. What makes you say that? Harriet's the mom, isn't she? It would make more sense. Fraternal twins. Raiko is the other twin. Harriet, being the mom, would explain why she looks so much like her. So Harriet's the mom. That would be why... Not as much family resemblance as I thought. Okay. So Harriet is the mom. Harriet does get us alone quite a few times, doesn't she? Fraternal twins, but they look identical. Mother-daughter would look a closer resemblance than fraternal twins. Harriet was unaccounted for. Juliet said that she was with her mom. Or she was with her sister. Which means Juliet was with Eva. Harriet, we don't have an alibi. right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure... Mother went to bed early. That's what she said. Mother went to bed early. Mother being Harriet. Harriet went to bed early. So Harriet went to bed early. We know that Juliet said that she was with her sister all night because we sort of hurt her by saying what we said. I was working under the assumption, the same thing as MASH, that Eva was the mother, Harriet was the twin. But if Eva's the twin and Harriet's the mother, with regards to Chris, almost this line where Eva calls someone mother. I just thought that she was referring to herself in the third person and possibly a split personality or something like that. But if Eva's actually the other twin, they're fraternal twins. So a mother-daughter would be more likely to look together if they're not actually twins. So Eva is the daughter, Harriet's the mother. I'm not going to be too much longer. So that means, with regards to Chris's death, we met Harriet. Was that the mistake with your mom freaking about being a translation mistake? Nice. Yeah, I thought it was just a mistyping of things myself. So, yes, that's another thing. I thought that it was just, she didn't care. That makes sense. Harriet confronted us outside of... after we encountered Juliet and talked about Chris, wondering what our intentions were. Morris is dead. That much is true. Harriet is not accounted for after Morris is gone. What is the motive, though? Harriet's the killer. It's definitely Harriet, but I don't know the motive that she has for doing the killing. That's the only thing. No alibi, other than she went to bed early the night Chris was killed. She was not to be seen after Morris disappeared. Okay. So I'm gonna make my vote then. Go ahead and give me your conclusion here. I'm going to really quickly here because I have no idea how this is going to mess up and I might have to readjust everything. I'm gonna turn display capture off here real quick. It's Harriet who reads about his behavior. His mother. Yes, that is true. That is very true. She wants Juliet to be with the person Ritsuka possesses. But then why would she... She just drugged us. She didn't actually kill us, I suppose. And it's saying the link is not found. Hang on. Fate/ghost/... The lie Holmes referred to as assuming Seno and Uriel had to be sisters, so Raiko had to be the mother. Exactly. Okay, so... Murder at Kogetsukan. Where's the vote page here? Okay, I'm going to need some assistance finding this because I cannot find the vote page on my own. Let me turn display capture back on. So I pressed the link that was in the actual thing, and it did not... That's clever. That is very clever. Okay, I need to find the vote page. Ongoing, murder Kogetsukan. Deduce the culprit, cast your vote. The voting page will start on 5/23 to... Okay, so where is the voting page? That is a good theory. I'm not going to lie. That is a very good theory. Okay, so let me try this again. So when I press cast your vote, it takes me to a dead link. Okay. Let me turn off the chat, or let me turn off display capture again. Turn it off, and let us see if I can't find it on the actual interwebs. FGO, cast your vote. Kogetsukan. No. Reddit, you're my only hope. The implication in Harriet's dialogue in Section 4 with Ritsuko is that she didn't go to college with him and Juliet, and why Harriet was so against the marriage. Harriet Uriel delivers some kind of speech about how the criminal underworld demands blood, and when you speak to her, that's suspect as hell. That's a fair good point. That is a fairly good point. Vote for the culprit here. Will this work now? Okay. So, perhaps with the Reddit, I might be able to find the right thing. So, we'll go to the Grand Order subreddit. Press the button. Press the button. Yes, there we go. Now it's worked. So, let me get this back up. There we go. Alright. So, we are at the voting page. Once per account, all personal voting information submitted to Couplet will be managed according to our terms and user. User ID will be necessary from the menu. Tap the terminal, choose friends, tap friend search. Your user ID will be displayed. So, I already know my user ID. It's just Solrak Dragon. As for the suspect, my suspect, and my official vote is for Harriet. There's the Juliet's friend played by Senpai. I like that. Alright, Harriet is the final answer. How do I know if it's sent? Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, I think you meant friend code. Oh. Probably, that's a good point. That might explain why I wasn't able to do the actual survey a while ago. Pasta. Alright, and Harriet is the vote. Send. Vote has ended. Voting has ended for the suspect you selected. What? Okay, that's normal. Okay. Good to know. That is the normal way to go. Alright, but that is my conclusion. Harriet is the murderer, and yeah. Well, if you try to reset, it gives a different message. Alright, so that was my conclusion, that Harriet was the murderer, is the killer, so to speak. I don't know why she drugged us, mind you, but who knows. But what was everybody else's votes, if you don't mind me asking, at least, before I end things off here, because it is about time. Yes, I can understand why it would take 6 hours to guess this. That was such a small detail at the very beginning of everything that I would have completely and totally missed it if you guys hadn't mentioned something. I would have completely totally missed it and voted Dorothy as my choice. Completely and totally missed it. So thank you guys for your help. Thank you very much. Alright, so Phoenix, you guessed Harriet. What about you, Unrelenting? What was your guess in this? As well as you, Shu. and anybody else that is actually here right now, at the very least. What were your guesses to the culprit in this whole grand scheme of things? Oh, but that was... What did Harriet... I was unsure if the English version was different, but remember what happened. Harriet was JP. Haven't had the time to read everything yet. Oh, no! Shu, I just spoiled it for you. No! I'm sorry, Shu. I'm sorry I spoiled it. I'm so sorry. But Harriet was the culprit in JP. Ah, so you were going off past knowledge. That's fair as well. That is completely and totally fair. But yeah, I would never have caught it. Honest to goodness, I never caught that small, insignificant detail at the very beginning. So yeah, that's on me. That is completely egg on my face. But yeah, I look forward to seeing how this event will conclude here in the future. I probably won't be doing the rest of this until, yeah, Wednesday, unfortunately. Simply because they're not going to unlock the last parts of it until, like, midnight or 11 o'clock tomorrow. So yeah, it'll probably be Wednesday that I come back and we finish off the Murder at the Kogetsukan event, which should also coincide, I believe, with the 10 million downloads pickup summoning. Theoretically, 25, 26. Yeah, that should coincide with the summoning campaign. So, you know, we'll finish up the Murder at the Kogetsukan as well as attempt to go for Surfer Mo. I hope, at least. I hope. But that is all for the future. For now, though, I think that I am going to be calling this stream here. It's been fantastic chatting with you all. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do thank you all for your help and the little hints that you dropped for me. I definitely would not have come to the conclusion I came to without your assistance. I definitely would not. Don't worry, Shu. You have the power. You have the chance. You have the odds. We're gonna get a ton of Saint Quartz and soon anyways, so, you know, you might luck out. You might luck out. But again, thank you all so much for coming out. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. A subscribe if you're on YouTube, or a follow if you're here on Twitch alone would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to, you know, grow a little bit more. I'm going to put more effort into it. So yeah, it would be appreciated. But once again, thank you all so much for coming out. I do hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic day or evening, everybody.